The following is a production of Hometown and Home Country Radio Sports.
We've never seen a team like this before, ladies and gentlemen. After all this time, Bishop Garrigan is still golden. Bishop Garrigan has finally slain the Newell Fonda Dragon. Your Golden Bears are state champions for the second year in a row. Bartolo, deep heave. Oh, she hit it from just inside of half court. That is unreal. That is unreal. Are you kidding me? Right side to Montag, releases a tray, rattles it in. Zoe Montag is a huge shot, and Garrigan's up by 5. Three-pointer is blocked at the buzzer, and that's it. After coming so close the past 2 years, Bishop Garrigan has finally won it all.
Video streaming on the Algona Radio YouTube channel is brought to you by Algona Municipal Utilities, community owned for community benefit. Kemna Auto Center, where it's not just about the car, it's about the care. Iowa State Bank, helping people succeed. PMC Advantage Insurance Services, having the advantage makes all the difference. And Algona Frame and Auto Body, we meet by accident. Now, here's Hometown and Home Country Radio Sports Director, Tyler Lance.
It's a big night of high school basketball in the top of Iowa West as tonight the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears try to stay pace in the conference title race. They'll try to keep pace with win tonight as they take on a resurgent Lake Mills Bulldogs team. Golden Bears come into the night a 12-2 overall record, 8-1 in the top of Iowa West, and no margin for error because Forest City's still undefeated. All these games so important for the Golden Bears to try to keep up their conference title winning streak. And tonight we'll take on a Lake Mills Bulldog team that has improved greatly over the past several years, and even from when Bishop Garrigan first saw them back in December to where they are right now. Bulldogs 8-5 overall, 7-3 in the top of Iowa West. Right now, sitting in 4th place in the conference, just one game behind North Union in the loss column. But this is a different-looking team led by Cora Sauer than Bishop Garrigan saw in that 51-28 win back early in December. Both teams look a little different since that time. Golden Bears have won 5 games in a row. Their offense right now clicking on all cylinders, and they'll face one of the best defensive teams in the conference tonight, the Lake Mills squad that's giving up under 42 points per game. So some top of Iowa West basketball coming up tonight from Bishop Garrigan High School. We'll get going a little early here tonight because the JV game wrapped up ahead of time, so we'll get started about 10 minutes early here in tonight's game, but we thank you all for tuning in here as Bishop Garrigan takes on Lake Mills in this girls-boys doubleheader. Right now, let's get to our pregame interviews. We'll talk to Lake Mills head coach Beth Van Roekel first. After that, we'll chat with Bishop Garrigan head coach Brandon Schwab. It's right here on Home Country KLGZ and the Algona Radio YouTube stream. And girls' top of Iowa West basketball action is coming up next on Home Country Radio KLGZ, as right now we talk with Lake Mills head coach Beth Van Roekel here on the pregame show as Lake Mills takes on Bishop Garrigan. Coach, first of all, thank you so much for joining us today and giving us a few minutes here to talk some Lake Mills basketball.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you for asking.
You guys pick up a big win on Friday night, 54-44 over a tough Belmont-Columbia Bronco team. So take me through Friday night a little bit. What were some of the biggest keys for a Lake Mills victory in that game?
I think having more even scoring, and just we played really well as a team. Probably one of the best of our season so far. I mean, Kate Bechtel came off hitting 8 of 9 right away from the field. That was huge for us. Obviously, amazing stat there. And then her sister Grace Bechtel, even though she didn't score in the game, she had 9 assists and 9 rebounds for us. So huge input there that had it doubled. And obviously, just an amazing effort there. And then, Cora Sauer didn't actually hit a three-pointer first all season, but she still had 17, so we found other ways to score, which is nice. Other people got in the game. Kenzie Budak came out and hit 3 threes, so 3 of 6 overall. That was a huge boost. And so just getting more people confidence, more people involved, and learning that they can do more things, and just more of a team, really nice team effort for sure.
And, Coach, you led me right into my next point because, like you said, it was a well-rounded team game in that win over Belmont-Clemmy, and especially girls come into the game and they know that Cora Sauer is kind of your leading scorer and she's the one to look to on offense. But how have you seen the other 4 players around her develop throughout the course of the season, knowing that, hey, we can take our own shots too, and there's moments for us in the game? How have you seen that sort of confidence build with the pieces around Cora?
Yeah, it's been great. I mean, depending on their defense, but a lot of times in certain defenses, we have better looks for different people. And so when we identify, in this defense we're running against, you gotta shoot when you're open, And so learning that and understanding the flow of the game. We've also had some injuries and another person is out with influenza. So getting people back, hopefully we get everybody healthy again. But getting Mackenzie Budak back was huge. She's just super quick, really good shooter. So getting her confidence now when she's back after being that knee injury. So. I think it takes time, and we have one senior starter right now, so a little bit of youth and inexperience, but now we've played a bunch of ball games and we're getting comfortable together and knowing that they can and make shots, and Cora and all the other girls are very supportive of each other, and so you're going to miss two, but just keep shooting if you got a good look, focusing on what good looks are and what good looks aren't, and so realizing that, just being more comfortable in the offense. And just seeing what they give us on defense. We got to take advantage of holes in the defense, and so most likely a Cora Sauer is not going to be a hole in the defense. So people got to step up and have confidence in themselves, and it really developed on Friday.
Well, Coach, you are now working your way through that top of Iowa West schedule for the second time here, seeing teams for the second time around as this time it leads you to a game against Bishop Garrigan. What were some of the takeaways or some of the big things that kind of stood out to you about the Golden Bears from the first time you saw them this season?
Well, and obviously they're a really good ball club. They always are, and they played really well. But I thought, looking back even today, just seeing some of the stats in that game, we definitely struggled with turnovers. We had a lot of turnovers, probably the most of the season. We just did not handle the ball well. Had some major mistakes there. But I thought, looking back, our defense was actually really good that game. I thought we played really well overall. We don't have the turnovers necessarily. They only had 7, so it wasn't that as much as just making shots difficult and playing good defense and, going towards our goals, what we want to do, and executing those. And so, I had a little more positivity than I was coming in, thinking about the game. We just got to take care of the ball. It's a huge thing. And we didn't shoot well, either. Obviously, that game struggled a little bit, that game, and think that's going to happen. So we got to learn to fight through that. But in the second half, we actually played them really well overall, and I think we were close to even being pretty even matched in points in that second half. So, we just got to come out and just have confidence, but not freak out about things and just try to stay calm and got to get the turnovers down. 27 turnovers is insane. So hard to win a ball game with that many turnovers. Just got to relax. And some of the turnovers were definitely forced, 100%, but then we got all rushed and all nervous and had some mistakes that shouldn't have been made. So, if they can take care of business and just relax and see what they give us and go after it really hard on defense, and they're going to hit shots. They have some amazing shooters, so they're going to hit shots, but roll with it and keep going and do our best to get a contested shot if we can.
Well, Coach, part of getting the turnovers down is dealing with the press that Bishop Garrigan can throw at you and dealing with the trap they can throw at you as well. So when it comes to dealing with those two things, what are some things that your girls need to do to be able to navigate that successfully?
Yeah, we just got to push the ball faster, I think. We're going to work at that. We've been working on that on practice and getting ready for this game. And, most presses haven't hurt us too bad over the year, but that one was just something we weren't ready for at all. Is that trapping thing and trap and then the helper. And so that was difficult, and we flustered a lot. We did not have Mackenzie Budak. She's probably the fastest girl on our team. So I'm hoping adding her in the mix tonight will also make a big difference because, she is quick, so we can get her the ball just to get it up the floor. And once they get half court, they do trapping in half court, of course, also. But it really hurt us in that full court when we were just bringing the ball down gingerly and slowly, and then they gave them time to run and trap and then recover and try to take the next pass away. So we got to do better at that. And so it's going to be definitely been an emphasis in practice. And it's a good look. It's something we hadn't seen before. That was the biggest thing, I think. We just hadn't seen it and hadn't had to deal with it. We deal with a lot of 2-2-1s and 1-2-2 presses and zone presses and stuff and denial man presses and stuff. So we worked on that a lot. We hadn't had the trapping like they did against us. So that was a big stumbling block for us. And so knowing that's potential, obviously if it works, they're going to definitely do some of that again. So we got to be ready for it and hopefully, dealing with it and knowing it's coming and making some better decisions and just pushing the ball faster up the floor so it doesn't give them time to, if they leave their girl, if we hustle up the floor and go fast and someone decides to leave their girl to go trap, that we're going fast enough that they can't recover and get that next pass so we can get it quickly and we can have a mismatch and hopefully have some numbers. So yeah, they're definitely good at it. They've done a lot, and they have really good athletes. So hopefully do a better job this time at it since we've been seeing it and had some time to work on it.
Coach, along that same theme as we wrap up for today, what do you see as the biggest key for a Lake Mills victory in this ball game?
We got to hit shots, not turn the ball over. Huge thing, not turn the ball over. Even 15 I'd be okay with, 16 or whatever. But we have to hit shots. When people are open, they got to hit them. And it's got to be a team effort. So if we can, get some of the pressure off Cora and get some other people, hitting some shots. Like last time, we just didn't have a lot of people. I think Bailey Dagstead had 5 shots total. That's why it's 3 and 3 and 1 and 1. So Cora has shot 16. So it makes a big difference. Obviously, had a lot of turnovers, but we got to get. I'm okay with Cora shooting 16 every single game. Most times, that's the best chance for a victory is if she's shooting a lot of shots. But you got to get that more well-rounded balance a little bit, and people got to hit some shots and take 8 or 10. It'd be nice if a couple other people had 8 or 10 shots in the game to give us a better chance, and hopefully closer shots. We love the three, and I have people that can shoot the three. I'm totally fine with that. But we also got to get some inside shots, and if you're cool on the outside, you got to get the ball inside to try to get some momentum going again. So hopefully, turnovers down, obviously, make some shots, and then on defense we have to, try to reduce the amount of shots they get and open looks and play as contested defense as we can all around and not give any super open looks, especially on transition. So a lot of things to do. But yes, we have a chance. Obviously, we always have a chance. Anything can happen, so we're going to go out and play hard and just see what happens.
Coach, great to talk to you today. We thank you so much for your time on the pregame show and wish you best of luck in tonight's game.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
That is Lake Mills head coach Beth Van Roekel for pregame thoughts. When we come back, we'll chat with Bishop Garrigan head coach Brandon Schwab on Home Country Radio and the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
American Glass. For all your glass needs, think American.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Beisch, Daniel Foth, and Michael Tull.
Chemco Tires. They're all you need to know about tires and service.
Wykirk Realtors, the 515 Agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Grassmasters. Growing satisfied customers.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college.
Glenn's Green Thumb. From a small seed, something beautiful will grow.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
We have girls high school basketball action coming up on Home Country Radio KLGZ and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream as the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears take on the Lake Mills Bulldogs. And we're joined as always by Bishop Garrigan head coach Brandon Schwab. Coach, thank you so much for joining on the pregame today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
As we begin, Coach, you guys played on Thursday night, had that conference night off on a Friday, so kind of a 4-day weekend for your team leading into this game Tuesday against Lake Mills. What have been some of the big focuses that your team has kind of taken into tonight's game against the Bulldogs?
Well, we worked the last few days in practice, against a 1-3-1 a little more, and just sharpen us against that since we haven't seen it a lot, and just continue to work on our zone offense and putting in a couple new twists and things like that. It just seems like that's what we're seeing every night is a different type of zone. We haven't seen a lot of man teams, so just trying to stay sharp on everything in the last few days of practice.
And, Coach, a theme over the past couple of games for your team is you guys have taken close games at halftime and really blown them open in the second half, specifically in the third quarter. What do you feel allows your team to be a really good second-half team, one that's really able to remove all doubt from close games once you get past halftime?
Well, our players do a tremendous job of resetting their brains and understanding the second half is a new half, no matter how the first half went, good or bad, resetting their brains and winning the third quarter. We strive on winning the first 3 minutes of the third quarter and getting out and winning that third quarter. So our kids do a great job of refocusing themselves and starting the second half with a new game.
And, Coach, tonight, another big conference match for the Golden Bears as you guys take on Lake Mills. And Golden Bears, of course, trying to stay right at the top of those conference standings. What are a couple of things that stood out to you from Lake Mills the first time around when you saw them?
Well, Cora Sauer is, without a doubt, their best player, and she can really fill up a scoreboard quickly. She's had a lot of games this year that she's had 30-plus points, hit 7, 8, 9 threes in a game. I mean, she can really fill it up. What we did good against her the first time has really frustrated her and limited her good shot attempts, and we're going to need to do that again tonight. If there's not attention on her, she can take over a game. So our focus is trying not to give her open looks, open drives, and let her get going offensively for sure.
We're talking right now with Bishop Garrigan head coach Brandon Schwab. Coach, one thing that also went well in that first game, defensively as a whole was good, but especially the fact that you guys were able to force 27 turnovers against Lake Mills. Your press really bothered them. The ability to trap them really bothered them as well. As a whole, what makes your full court press successful? And I guess what are some keys to executing that tonight against Lake Mills?
Well, they're going to be better than they were the first time against the press. There's no doubt. I mean, they struggled against us the first time with picking up their dribble and things in the full court that they're going to make adjustments. Cora's dad's an assistant coach on the roster. They're going to be better against it. Our goal is if we can get our back level rotating with our front level, we're really tough. That's when we really had it locked in at Lake Mills that our our back level of our press was rotating up and also covering rim, and our front level was really, jumping that dribbler. And when it's working good like that, we can really put a lot of pressure on the other team. So, we hope to get there tonight. We know that they're going to make adjustments. We've made a few adjustments from the first time we've played them, too, in our press to maybe throw a little different rotations at them. So we'll see how that plays out for sure tonight.
All right, Coach, we appreciate your time today on the pregame show and wish you best of luck in tonight's game.
All right, thank you.
That was Bishop Garrigan Golden Bear basketball coach Brandon Schwab with his pregame thoughts. When we come back, tip-off between the Lake Mills Bulldogs and Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears on Home Country Radio, KLGZ.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game on Hometown Home Country Radio.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
Dump It, Kasuth County's local and reliable waste service provider for commercial and residential customers.
Albert Electric, flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants where everyone counts.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
More sports club members.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush beats a full house.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for health care.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
Reeves Wicked Good Bar and Grill, for wicked good food, drinks, and service, you gotta go to Reeves.
High Point Land Company, your trusted land partner in Algona.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Signworks Inc. For all your signage needs and printed apparel, stop in or call 295-9544.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Bacon at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs. We're locally owned and operated, which means family, community, and service always comes first. So come to Security State Bank. We'll treat you like family. Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
It's time to meet the starting lineup for the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears.
Madeline Tigas, freshman, number 21.
Tigas on the backside, lays it up and in.
Zoe Montag, senior, number 22.
Golden Bears rotate around. Montag with the hard head fake. She'll drive in. The C's parked and Montag scores.
Seisha Alish, junior, number 24.
4 on the shot clock. Alish, a deep triple on the way. She banks it in. That's how you know it's your night, ladies and gents.
Emmy Bartolo, junior, number 10.
Bartolo from way downtown. The silencer! Emmy Bartolo with the answer again.
Graceland Eastman, sophomore, number 15.
Kicks down Eastman. Eastman a tray. Eastman knocks it down. First career three-pointer by Graceland Eastman. Tip-off of your game is coming up next on Hometown and Home Country Radio. That is the Bishop Garrigan starting lineup for head coach Brandon Schwab. Coach Schwab, by the way, going for win number 300 tonight. Meanwhile, for Lake Mills and head coach Beth Van Ruckel, they'll have the 5'7" sophomore Mackenzie Budock, the 5'8" sophomore Cora Sauer, the 5'10" junior Kate Bechtel, the 5'8" junior Grace Bechtel, and the 5'10" senior Bailey Dagstead. Lake Mills 8-5 overall. They're wearing the purple uniforms tonight, as they have the white Lake Mills on the front, white numerals on the front and back outlined in yellow, and the yellow and white trim down the side of the jerseys. Bishop Garrigan in the home whites, the black BGHS on the front, black numerals on the front and back outlined in yellow, and the black trim along the shoulders as well as Eastman back taps, and we are underway from Bishop Garrigan High School. Golden Bears move from right to left on the radio dial. Bartolo feeds Eastman in the post, now out towards Montag on the wing, rotates left corner to Alish, then right back to Montag. Across towards the right side to Bartolo for the Garrigan offense that nearly turns it over. Ball's knocked into the backcourt but picked back up by Zoe Montag. Bishop Garrigan third in Class 1A and scoring at 64.6 points per game. That's number 1 on the top of Iowa West. In the lane, Eastman with 10 on the shot clock, out to Bartolo. Deep trade from the right side, and Bartolo cans it to start the game. What a patient possession for Bishop Garrigan, taking the first 30 seconds off the clock and ending with a 3-point shot by Emmy Bartolo. Lake Mills gets across the full court press. That was an issue last time these teams matched up. For this Lake Mills team, that is number 6 out of 9 teams in scoring in the top of Iowa West, 42.5 points per game. They are 7-3 in the conference, having an excellent season. A give and go, Bechtel to Sauer. Sauer elbow J, no. Sailing for the rebound, Dagstead, but it's off her hands. And here comes Montag for Bishop Garrigan off the loose basketball. Montag feeds Bartolo on the wing. She'll sidestep, she'll lob it near side towards Alish, who makes the catch. Facing this Lake Mills zone defense, Alish shoots a three-pointer in rhythm. Can't knock it down, though, as the long rebound comes out to Sauer. Sauer outlet down the floor to Budok, and it is out of her range and out of bounds. Turnover as the ball will go back to Bishop Garrigan. Last time these teams matched up, Lake Mills had a whopping 27 turnovers in that Bishop Garrigan victory. That's something Coach Van Rukel stressed in the pregame. She said, 15 or 16 turnovers, we can find a way to work with that, but if we're at the 20-plus territory tonight, it's going to be a long night against these Golden Bears. Alish feeds Tigas down in the short corner. Tigas, by the way, just sang the national anthem before tonight's game. Is across the court, it's Montag on the wing. She lets it fly. Free ball rolls off the cup. The box out, and the rebound brought in by Grace Bechtel, who had to battle for that one down low. Now it's Dagstead getting it near side to Sauer. Sauer, the number 3 point per game scorer in the top of Iowa West right now, behind North Union's Ainsley Ulrich and Garner Havel-Ventura's Bella Shizzle. They try to give and go that time, no, and the jumper by Dagstead deflects towards the far side out of bounds and will go back to Bishop Garrigan. Golden Bears a better time covering that up and denying the basketball from Cora Sauer. A big part of the game plan tonight for Sauer, who's averaging 17.5 points per game. You don't want to let her get on track and really get in a good shooting rhythm, because she can shoot the three, she can shoot from mid-range as well, and she can drive to the bucket. Lake Mills in their 2-3 defense. Eastman the high-low look to Tigas, but that dump down goes off her hands and out of bounds. Right idea there, but I think Tigas just took her eye off the ball before it got into her hands and couldn't finish it at the bucket. So turnover there for Bishop Garrigan. Golden Bears bring out the full court press. They're double teaming Sauer in the backcourt to keep the ball away from her with Montag and Bartolo. Instead, it'll be Budok getting the ball and bringing it across half court. They try to trap Budok. She sprints away from it. Now they've got her pinned along the sideline. Budok pass knocked away by Tigas, and she intercepts it. Tigas gets it up into Alish. Passes out of her range, though, and it's thrown right into the hands of Dagstead for Lake Mills. The lone senior in their starting lineup, Dagstead, lobs it down to the block to Bechtel. Bechtel working against Tigas. She fades back. Finds her sister in the lane, no good, as Grace Bechtel couldn't knock that shot down. Ball loose along the baseline, tapped back into play, and goes right to Tigas for Bishop Garrigan, as Kate Bechtel couldn't get the points there with her pass to Grace Bechtel. Bartolo feeds Eastman down low. Eastman is able to kick the door open and score in the paint. 5-0 Bishop Garrigan, and an early 30-second timeout called by Coach Schwab. Boy, what a chaotic early pace in this ball game. Bishop Garrigan on top of Lake Mills 5-0 with 5:28 on the clock in quarter number 1. Lake Mills is really trying to get out and sprint up the floor before Bishop Garrigan can do a lot of damage in that full court press, but Bishop Garrigan is responding. They're forcing turnovers in the front court right now, and they're getting out and running the other direction. But we've seen a few passes go awry by Bishop Garrigan, a couple passes that were a little bit too far for their intended target. We've also seen a ball go off of Tigas' hands and out of bounds, so not exactly the clean start offensively that the Golden Bears envisioned either. But in any case, it's a 5-0 lead for the Golden Bears, who are 19-1 against Lake Mills dating back to 2014. Bishop Garrigan has won their last 16 matchups against Lake Mills. Lake Mills' last win over Bishop Garrigan came January 19th of 2016 as they try to snap that streak tonight. Ball's inbounded to Budok for Lake Mills. Bulldogs moving left to right on the radio dial. Alish takes it right out of her pocket. Alish down the lane. She scores and draws the foul. The thievery by Sasha Alish, and a chance for a 3-point play. 7-0 Bishop Garrigan. You just have to take such good care of the basketball when you're going up against that Garrigan press. You can't dribble it out in front of you. You've got to use your body or use an off arm some way to protect the basketball, because if it's out in front like that, the guards like Sasha Alish and Emmy Bartolo are just going to reach right into the cookie jar and take it away as the free throw goes down the cup for Alish. 8-0 Bishop Garrigan as Sasha Alish has her first 3 points of the night. Alish of 6 straight double-digit scoring games. This is a nice move by Sauer. Took the ankles of Bartolo. She got into the front court. Sauer at the foul line goes right side to Dagstead. Now back up to Sauer, pestered by Zoe Montag all the way out towards half court. Lake Mills shooting 35% from the field as a team this year, just under 29% on 3-point balls, both middle of the road in the top of Iowa West. Here's Sauer, top of the arc, now guarded by Bartolo. Sauer picked up her dribble and gets it up top to Dagstead. Was trying to give it back to Sauer, but nothing there. She'll go right to Bechtel. Bechtel in the lane, ball caught by Sauer. Sauer, tough jumper over Bartolo, and it deflects off the rim and drops through. What a good mid-range shot that time by Cora Sauer to get Lake Mills on the board. 8-2 right now as Bishop Garrigan's on top. Sauer attempting over 17 shots per game, second most field goal attempts in the conference to North Union's Ainsley Ulrich. She will take a high volume of shots for Lake Mills, and she'll certainly get her points tonight. Eastman catches on the right block. Eastman powers inside and draws the foul. Graceland Eastman working on Bailey Dagstad that time, and the Bishop Garrigan sophomore will shoot a couple of free throws. Eastman just under 63% of the foul line so far this season, as Bishop Garrigan lead Lake Mills 8-2, with 4:25 on the clock in quarter number 1. The Garrigan sophomore cues up the first free throw and knocks it down. 9-2 Bishop Garrigan. Alyssa Hoagland into the ball game, and she'll come get Zoe Montag for the Golden Bears. This Golden Bear team that's won 5 consecutive games, and all of those games they've scored at least 67 points. Free throw by Eastman, and that one will deflect and go through. 10-2 Bishop Garrigan. But this Golden Bear offense has been unlocked after winter break. They've gotten extra efficient, and they've shot the ball extra well. Pass up the court towards Bechtel, fought about pulling from the mid-range, but Eastman right there in front of her. And there's a pivot, and there's a foul going against Eastman, the first on Bishop Garrigan of the evening. And it comes with 4:15 on the clock. Lake Mills will take it in from the baseline as Grace Bechtel will be the inbounder. Bechtel from the baseline. Nothing open initially. She'll lob it in as the ball's caught by Budak off beyond the three-point line. Wearing that brace on her left knee. Got the ball over to the right to Sauer just inside of half court, who had to jump up and grab that basketball out of the air. Sauer top of the arc, goes left wing to Budak. We're 4:04 on the clock. 10-2 Bishop Garrigan, back to Sauer on the right side. Good high closeout by Stacia Olish. Had to hands up high to prevent Sauer from getting a three-point jumper off. Now down to 15 on the shot clock. One dribble for Dagstad, then right back to Sauer. Pursued by Bartolo, who's poking at the ball right now. 3:50 on the clock. In the lane to Bechtel. Bechtel drives. Bechtel pulls up. Jumper's airballed. It'll go out of bounds and back to Bishop Garrigan. Lake Mills probed and probed and probed to that possession, but they couldn't find an open shot. They had to shoot it with about 5 seconds left on the shot clock. So 30 seconds of really good defense by the Golden Bears as Carly Nielsen, who is in on that possession, gets replaced by Madeline Tagus in the Golden Bear lineup. Tagus has averaged 8.5 points per game for the Golden Bears, just over 4.5 rebounds. Hoagland gets it in between the circles to Bartolo. She rotates left towards Olish. Olish crosses over and works down to Eastman along the baseline. Eastman up top to Bartolo. Golden Bears up 10-2, leading this Lake Mills team that is number 3 in the conference in defense, only allowing 41.5 points per game. Here's Bartolo outside towards Hoagland with 14 on the shot clock. A lob to the near side to Olish, intercepted. Tiptoeing the sidelines is Bechtel. Coach Rob saying she stepped out, and the referee saying she tight-roped the sidelines without touching that paint. Dagstad gets the pass over into the corner to Budak, guarded by Tagus along the perimeter. Now out to the top of the key towards Dagstad. Down the lane it goes. It's Hayden Wempen, the sophomore. Wempen off glass, no. And Eastman wheels in the rebound for Bishop Garrigan. The 5'10 sophomore Wempen first off the bench for Lake Mills tonight. 3 minutes left in the first quarter. Garrigan up 10-2. Bartolo working. And there's a push called against Lake Mills. That'll be their third team foul. I believe that was Budak into the body of Bartolo that time. Ava Roffler and Zoe Montag come off the bench for Bishop Garrigan. Natalie Larry will dust off the cobwebs for Lake Mills as the 5'9 senior enters for the first time tonight. 2:54 left in quarter number 1 from Bishop Garrigan High School on a frigid Tuesday night. No school today for the Golden Bears, but they're still able to get this ball game in tonight. Right corner tray by Bartolo off the front of the cup. Deflection towards the foul line, picked up by Sauer, and a full head of steam. Sauer on the accelerator, threads the pass to the running Dagstad, but can't finish at the rim. She hit it off the side of the rim that time, and the Golden Bears run the other direction. Montag baseball pass down towards Eastman. Ball is heading out of bounds, and Bishop Garrigan can't save it, as Roffler had the effort to try to track that one down, but Golden Bears cannot capitalize on that transition opportunity, as we're stuck here at 10-2 right now the past few possessions. Golden Bears, they've won 5 straight games. Lake Mills, they've won 3 of their past 4 games, including the past 2. 2:30 left in quarter number 1. Into the front court comes Larry. Larry will find Dagstad. Extra pass underneath to Wempen. Wempen off glass. Draws the foul and puts it down. Wempen will buy one, and she'll get one for free. And it's 10-4 right now with 2:25 left in the first quarter. That time, an excellent job by Lake Mills getting past the Bishop Garrigan pressure, and a tremendous job by Dagstad to make an extra pass. She easily could have just taken the jump shot right there. It would have been contested, would have been tough, but saw Wempen open there on the right block and able to find her and put Eastman in a tough spot. Who do I guard? Do I go out and commit to Dagstad, or do I drop back here and try to cover up Wempen? Wempen knocks down the free throw, and it's 10-5 as Lake Mills trying to settle in early against Bishop Garrigan. Golden Bears up by 5 right now. Bucket is towards the left as Bartolo gets the pass right wing to Montag. Now towards Tagus on the elbow. Back out to Montag. Takes 2 dribbles around towards the left and gives it to Bartolo. Bartolo accelerates, then deaccelerates. Out towards Montag. A catch and shoot 3, a bit too strong. Nielsen box out. Nielsen put back. Nielsen, yes! 12-5 Bishop Garrigan. Excellent position that time on the left block by Carly Nielsen, who cleans up another offensive board for the Golden Bears. We talk a lot about the Bishop Garrigan boys basketball team and their rebounding, but the girls team excellent in that as well. As here's a timeout call by Coach Van Roekel and the Lake Mills Bulldogs. This timeout comes with 1:54 left in the first quarter, and it'll be a 30-second timeout. But on that point, you look at the offensive rebounding numbers, and the raw numbers are good. Bishop Garrigan over 13 offensive rebounds per game, but what you also want to look at is what percentage of the missed shots are the teams rebounding. Bishop Garrigan has rebounded almost 41% of their own missed shots, so pretty close to half the time Golden Bears miss a shot, they've got someone in there for the offensive board and a second chance opportunity. So that's been a big key for the Golden Bears. And just for reference, Lake Mills, their offensive rebounding percentage at about 31%, which in the 30s is usually a little bit more of a normal number. That 41% by Bishop Garrigan, definitely well above average as far as their offensive rebounding rate. Lake Mills out of the timeout, trailing Bishop Garrigan 12-5 right now. It will be Bechtel inbounding the ball. The 5'8 junior Grace Bechtel, guarded by Montag, she'll get it into the backcourt towards Sauer. Sauer scored 17 points in that 10-point win over Belmont Clemmy for Lake Mills. They tried the give and go. Again, Bartolo wisely covered that up as Sauer sidesteps, finds Dagstead in the lane, then outside to Wempen. Back to the right to Bechtel. Bechtel down the lane. Bechtel stopped by Roffler. Now trying to barrel her way in is Dagstead, but Roffler holding strong. Pass to the corner to Larry. A catch and shoot for me, and she splashed it. Natalie Larry from the right corner for a beautiful looking shot. And it's 12-8. Lake Mills battling the Golden Bears here. Roffler got open for a three on the other end, and Roffler answers right back. Boy, Ava Roffler's heating up from three-point land for Bishop Garrigan. And a score now 15-8 as the Golden Bears extend that lead with 1:12 left in the first quarter. Down towards the right block, Wempen barreling it against Montag. Good help defense by Nielsen, and they force the ball back outside beyond the perimeter. Wempen again against the smaller Montag, who's trying to front her down on the post. Lake Mills can't find her though right now. They look for Sauer instead. Number 10 guarded by number 10, Bartolo against Sauer. Takis comes over the help, into lane towards Dagstead, works left and draws the foul. That'll be a push against Bishop Garrigan, their third team foul of the quarter, and it comes with 53 seconds left in the first. That will reset the shot clock to 35 for the Golden Bears as Ava Roffler gets called for her first personal foul. Emmy Bartolo and Ava Roffler come out of the game. In their place, it'll be Alyssa Hoagland and Seisha Olish for the Golden Bears. 53 seconds remain in quarter number one. And down on the far side baseline, it'll be Bechtel inbounding for Lake Mills. Bechtel gets it into Larry, looking for Wempen, but Nielsen has her fronted this time in the post. Olish trying to take the ball away from Larry, who pivoted away, threw it up top. Dangerous passes. Hoagland almost stole it. Ball controlled by Sauer. Sauer gets it to Bechtel, top of the arc, with 24 on the shot clock, 41 on the game clock. Back over to the right to Sauer. Sauer just 2 points so far in the first quarter as Bishop Garrigan leads Lake Mills 15-8. Sauer gets the screen by Dagstead, sidesteps into a tray, and it's off the heel, no good. Long deflection outside, picked up by Bechtel though for Lake Mills on a second chance. She'll shovel the ball over to the right towards Dagstead, and now Lake Mills can hold for the final shot of the first quarter. Like we say, with a lot of opponents, you got to withstand that first quarter barrage by the Golden Bears, and Lake Mills has done that. Can they get a bucket here before the end of the quarter? 14 seconds on the clock. Bechtel works the dribble. She spins away from Olish, stops in the wing, flings it down towards Dagstead on the right block. Dagstead slops up a wild shot at the glass. No. And in 5 seconds, here come the Golden Bears. Olish heaves from half court. It's a sky ball, and it's no good at the horn. It's just a bit short of the bucket, and that's the end of quarter number one. The late free by Eva Roffler gives Bishop Garrigan a 15-8 lead as we head to the second quarter on Home Country Radio KLGZ and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
AK's Chrome Kitchen. When you come in, your family.
Farmers State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Phil's Auto and Truck Repair. Service is the difference.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oakcrest Funeral Services, celebrating a life lived.
All bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio. When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at MoneyPass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
Out of the Bishop Garrigan High School Gymnasium on a frigid Tuesday night. The Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears right now leading the Lake Mills Bulldogs 15-8, beginning quarter number two. Lake Mills moves from left to right on the radio dial as they will inbound the ball into the backcourt to Cora Sauer, and we are rolling here in the second quarter. Bishop Garrigan got the final bucket of that quarter on a 3-point ball by Ava Roffler, her 5th free of the season. Like we said, past couple games, she has really heated up. Ball fed into the post to Bechtel. She spins away from Tegas. A foul on the arm as Bechtel was held that time by Tegas. That came before the shot, though, so the bucket didn't count, and that foul was not an act of shooting. Tegas picking up her first personal foul for the Golden Bears right off the jump here in quarter number 2. The Lake Mills post players, they're working hard down low right now, but Lake Mills has had trouble getting on the basketball, but they did there as Larry collects the inbounds pass, but it's taken right away by Olish. Larry is trying to keep that ball inbounds, and Olish was there for the steal. Olish on the right side, weaves towards the lane and feeds Montag outside. Montag, the 8-point per game scorer, gives the ball back into the lane to Tegas, outside towards Olish, and Olish buries a free-point ball. Sasha Olish has been incredible of late on free-point shots, over 37% on the season, one of the top 3-point shooters in the top of Iowa West, number 4 in the conference in percentage, and the Golden Bears are up by double figures, 18-8. Here's Sauer on the crossover dribble. She drives, she floats, left the floater short, and the rebound brought in by Eastman. You can sense a sense of urgency for Sauer. Whenever she gets an open look, she's shooting it right away as Montag catches the pass from Bartolo, lets it fly, but rims out on the 3, and the rebound comes down into the hands of Larry. But the Golden Bears have not given Sauer a whole lot of room to breathe, so even the slightest margin, even the slightest amount of space, she's going to let it fly here, whether it's mid-range or a three-point shot. Facing up for a jumper from the foul line, no good for Wempen as she missed it left, and Tegas vacuums in the rebound for Bishop Garrigan. The Golden Bear freshman into the forecourt, hands the ball off to the point guard Bartolo with 6:42 on the clock. Around to the left to Montag, as she'll dribble across the arc towards the right and shovel it out to Olish, deep on the wing. Sasha Olish, averaging nearly 13 per game so far for the Golden Bears, of 6 so far tonight. Montag zips the baseball pass near side to Bartolo, and a 3-second call in the lane. They're going to say Eastman was camped out inside for Bishop Garrigan, and the Golden Bears turned it over of 6:28 on the clock. Lake Mills will return Mackenzie Budock into the ball game, the sophomore wearing jersey number 1. Ball is inbounded by Bechtel. Both Bechtels in the ball game right now. Kate Bechtel and a Grace Bechtel of 6:23 on the clock. Sauer double team before she can get to half court. Throws a dangerous pass, but was able to find Kate Bechtel. Bechtel barrels away inside and draws the foul. What a feed from half court by Cora Sauer. She saw the double team trap, or the double team, I should say, at half court of Montag and Bartolo, and somehow had the vision to look all the way down to the block and find Bechtel. Olish ended up being guilty on the foul, but that was a pass that very few players in the conference can make, but Cora Sauer can as that free throws up, and that is nothing but net as Bechtel knocks down the first one. She is a 71% foul shooter, and Lake Mills, although they don't take many free throws, they're a very good free throw shooting team, 64.4%, the top percentage in the top of Iowa West, but they're taking the least free throws in the conference, under 10.5 per game, as that one is up and good. 18-10 right now after the 2 Bechtel-made free throws, as the Golden Bear lead right now at 8 points. Bartolo between the circles, gets it left side to Olish. Olish looking for the cutting Tegas under the bucket, drew the foul, put it in! The excellent movement without the basketball by Madeline Tegas, and she'll shoot for a chance at a 3-point play. The Golden Bears love that play. They have the ball over on the left side, and then Tegas just kind of sneaks in from the perimeter behind the defense on the right side. She catches the ball on the block. She'll finish for the easy 2. Golden Bears used to run that all the time with Abby Capacious over the years, and then Tegas fills in that role for the Golden Bears now as the free throw is in and out. The rim is going to spit that one back out into the hands of Bechtel on the rebound. Grace Bechtel into the front court with 6:02 on the clock. As Bechtel on the wing, dribbling for Lake Mills, guarded by Montag, and she will get it out towards Dagstad. Dagstad guarded by Eastman. Eastman comes out to defender as up top it's Kate Bechtel now. Bechtel will hand the ball off to Sauer in between the circles with 15 on the shot clock. Sauer with Bartolo giving her a little bit of space, but ready to stop her if she gets any closer to the 3-point line. Over to Dagstad on the wing. They'll give Dagstad a lot of space with 5 on the shot clock. Nowhere home. Dagstad pivots around, bounces the pass towards Sauer. 2 on the shot clock. 1. Desperation 3. Oh, and she hit it! From way downtown, Cora Sauer drills a 3. 20-13. A bailout shot at the end of the shot clock, and who do you look to but number 10 if you're Lake Mills? Bishop Garrigan lead down to 7. Eastman in the short corner works towards the lane. Eastman trying to jam the door open, but shot got rejected in the paint, and Lake Mills grabs the loose basketball off Dagstad. Dagstad into the front court, hands the ball off to Sauer, 5:07 on the clock. Can Lake Mills start to string a few buckets together here and generate a bit of momentum? They've been good defensively tonight, but the offense has come and gone. With the ball right now, it's Dagstad. Looking for Sauer. Bartolo trying to face guard her. Ball rolls away, but Sauer's able to track that one down with 13 on the shot clock. Lake Mills has burned a lot of time on the shot clock just looking for Sauer. Sauer gets the screen by Dagstad. Sidesteps into a 3. In and out, no good. Rebound loose, and Sasha Olish able to grab it as she and Eastman both went after it. The Bishop Garrigan Jr. Olish across the timeline finds Tegas in the high post. One dribbles to the right inside of the pass out to Bartolo. Arcs of the 3. Almost banked that in, but the rebound ripped down the lane by Grace Bechtel, who kept it away from the swarming Golden Bears. Approaching the halfway mark of the second quarter, here's Bechtel heading right around the arc. Bechtel working her way inside. Bechtel against Bartolo, almost dribbled it off the baseline, but got it back outside to Budak. Budak catch and shoot, left the three-pointer short. Loose basketball, and Bartolo picked it up. It got poked away, but Bartolo got it back. Out to Tegas. Tegas down the paint. Tegas up, and she spun it in. Madeline Tegas does a great job of putting the ball off glass at all kinds of different angles, putting a lot of spin on it, and somehow finding a way to get it to drop just about every time. She got that. It'll be a timeout by Lake Mills, a 4:03 on the clock, and a 22-13 Bishop Garrigan lead. You're listening to Top of Iowa West basketball on Home Country Radio KLGZ and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
Thank you to these Sports Club members bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Good Samaritan Society, Algona's senior housing and services rooted in God's love.
Feed Mill Coffee Company, Algona's locally owned coffee shop.
Tangle Salon for all your cuts, colors, hair extensions, and massage therapy needs.
Schindler Lawn Care and Landscaping, 515-320-3840.
All bringing you this ball game.
Inside of the Bishop Garrigan High School Gymnasium, halfway through the second quarter, as the Lake Mills Bulldogs trail the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears right now, 22-13. Golden Bears at 8-1 right now in conference play. Lake Mills 7-3. Two of the better teams at the top of Iowa West going at it here tonight. As the ball gets inbounded to Budak for Lake Mills, pursued in the backcourt by Alsh as Budak wants to keep that ball in between the volleyball lines. She'll burst from the near side of the court as she's able to find Dagstead down to our right. Dagstead in the corner, guarded by Nielsen. She'll spin. She'll work her way towards the lane with the left hand. Tough hook shot from a long ways out. Missed everything. Bartolo there for the rebound along the baseline. Bartolo across half court. Bucket is towards the left. Bartolo accelerates. Finds Nielsen underneath. Pump fake. Got a defender to jump. But the recovery and the block by Bechtel. Loose ball picked up by Nielsen, and the Golden Bears can try again. Over to the right to Hoagland. Off the Allish pass. Hoagland. No good on the three. Sailing in Sauer for the rebound. She and Bartolo landed in the exact same spot, and a whistle is called. That'll be a foul on number 10, Emmy Bartolo. Two number 10s in the area, so I had to pause there to see if that would be on Sauer or Bartolo, but Bartolo picks up her first personal, third team foul on Bishop Garrigan. And the Golden Bear three-point shooting has not been quite as good as usual. Bishop Garrigan this year, 32% on three-point balls. That is the number 3 best percentage in the Class 1A rankings. Number 1 on the top of Iowa West, but so far tonight, not hitting from quite the same rate as there's a short corner jumper up and good for Kate Bechtel. And Lake Mills sticking around here in the first half, 22-15 with 3:11 left in the second quarter. Lake Mills in that 2-free zone here against the Golden Bears. Those guards up top are really trying to jump out of the three-point shooters, and an offensive foul on Bishop Garrigan. They're going to get a moving screen on that one, a 3:06 on the clock, and Garrigan has their 4th foul. That will be number 1 against Carly Nielsen, setting that screen. Lake Mills, like we said, they played extremely well defensively. That is kind of where they hang their hat as a team. Since winter break, Lake Mills has held 4 of their 5 opponents under 45 points. The only to score above that one is Forest City, who handed them a 52-36 loss, which, considering how high-powered the Indians are and how they're 15-0, that's understandable. As the ball got knocked out of bounds, Lake Mills will keep it. But Lake Mills has never allowed more than 52 points in any game so far this season, as they execute that 2-free zone defense extremely well. Into the backcourt to Budak, averaging over 6 points per game for Lake Mills as she finds Sauer. Sauer between the circles right now, slings it over to Dagstead of 2:55 left in the first half. Hand off to Budak, coming around towards the right, accelerating downhill and dealing outside to Bechtel. Bechtel catch and rip on the 3 off the back of the cup, and Eastman reaches above everyone for the fingertip rebound. Another possession here for the Golden Bears. Montag and Tegas getting ready to check back in here at the next stoppage. Allish from the left wing, deep tray, rims out, rebound on the lane. Nielsen got it, hook shot up, no good. Tapped outside of Bartolo, looking back underneath towards Eastman on the block. Kicks out to Bartolo, rises for free and airballs it. And the Golden Bears just off on the 3-point shot tonight. Dagstead with the uncontested rebound for Lake Mills comes the other direction. Physically moving into the front court against Allish, who went stumbling backwards. Dagstead able to get it over to the left to Grace Bechtel. Now down to the corner to Kate Bechtel, left side in front of the Garrigan student section. Bechtel against Nielsen, crosses over, looking for the baseline, works her way into the block, turns around and nothing home as she kicks it back outside. Around the perimeter to the right, to Grace Bechtel, back across to Kate Bechtel. 2 minutes left in the first half. Out to Sauer now, in on the shot clock. Sauer in creation mode. Sauer around to the right, and that'll be a offensive foul on Lake Mills. Garrigan got the moving screen call earlier. That time it'll be moving screen on Lake Mills. And that could be the sign of very good defense if you're the Golden Bears. Dagstad picks that one up. They forced Lake Mills deep into the shot clock a few times here tonight, and when Lake Mills gets under 10, you can tell all 4 players on the court who aren't named Kurosawa start looking around and seeing, can we find number 10 here to get a jump shot off before the end of the shot clock? And they just ran out of time, couldn't get her open off that screen as the moving screen was called. Take us for Bishop Garrigan, has the ball down to our left, finds Eastman in the lane. Eastman against a double team, finds Tagus behind the double team, works the block and kicks it out to Olish. Extra pass corner to Bartolo, drives in the lane, rises for a mid-range jump shot, off the cup, no good, left it short, and the rebound deflects near side to Grace Bechtel. Lake Mills did a great job recovering on defense that time. Looked like Garrigan was going to get some shots off, but good closeouts by Lake Mills. Into the front court, weaving his Budak, gives it off to Sauer with 1:25 left in the first half. Sauer 5 points so far, 22-15 Bishop Garrigan. Sauer driving in, Sauer runner off glass, no good. And Eastman reaches above 3 purple jerseys for the rebound. Hard fought rebound for Grayson Eastman, the #1 rebounder in the top of Iowa West at 9 per game. Now can the Golden Bears generate some offense here in the final 1:06. Olish in the lane towards Tagus. Tagus splits 2 defenders, left the basketball behind, but got it back. Outside to Montag, then into Eastman, and a foul on the arm whistled against Lake Mills. That will be foul number 3 against the Bulldogs of this second quarter, as the personal foul is picked up by Dagstad. Check that, it'll be on Wempen, her first personal. Budak goes to the bench, and Larry in for Lake Mills. Larry hitting that 3-point shot earlier in this game as Bartolo inbounds, gets it into Olish. Olish lets it fly again, and that one rims out again. And the rebound deflects into the hands of Bechtel for Lake Mills. 54 seconds left in the first quarter, and she'll find Sauer. 20-second difference between game clock and shot clock. Bucket is towards the right as Sauer comes across half court for Lake Mills. Here's the screen by Wempen. Into the short corner goes Sauer. She'll give it back into Wempen. Wempen deep in the post, lays it up and in. Nice job by Wempen coming off that screen that time, setting herself up in the center of the paint, or just over to the right of center, I should say, and getting an easy squared up look for 2. 22-17 Bishop Garrigan. Olish gets it up top to Bartolo. Bartolo driving downhill, looking back outside, intercepted by Sauer on the pass. She was trying to find Olish. Sauer runs, spins off of Olish, got inside, put it off the glass and scored. What a move by Kurosawa. Hitting a spin move right there. She has 7 points now, and we're down to the final 12 seconds of the half. Sauer getting rolling here late. 8 seconds, here comes Bartolo. Bartolo around to the left for 5 seconds. Picked up a dribble and finds Olish. 3 seconds to Montag of 2. Montag of 1. Pulls up for a 3-point shot. No good. No good at the horn as Bishop Garrigan's 3-point struggles continue. What a fight there in the second quarter put up by Lake Mills. Down by just 3 at halftime. It's Bishop Garrigan 22 and Lake Mills 19 heading to intermission here on Home Country Radio KLGZ and at the Algona Radio YouTube live stream.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game.
Runkey Brothers Full Service. Experience the Runkey Brothers difference for all your auto service and repair needs.
Nutrient Ag Solutions of Irvington and Laverne for all your crop input needs.
Erpelding Voigt and Company CPAs. They're not just about taxes.
Hy-Vee. Use the Fuel Saver card. Fill your cart, fuel your car.
North Iowa Appliance Center, Highway 18 East in Algona, where they sell the best and service the rest.
Erpelding Excavating Enterprises. Let them take care of your grading, excavating, and drainage needs.
All bringing you this ball game. When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at MoneyPass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
It is halftime right now for Bishop Garrigan High School. The Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears lead the Lake Mills Bulldogs 22-19. And joining us right now to preview the boys basketball game is Bishop Garrigan coach Mark Meister. Coach, as always, we appreciate your time today at halftime. Let's begin by talking about just this long weekend for the Golden Bears. You played on Thursday night against Newman Catholic, and then after a 3-game week, you guys have 4 days to get ready for today's game against Lake Mills. So what were you guys focusing on over this past weekend?
We gave them the day off Friday, so they enjoyed that very much. And then we came in Sunday and got a lot of shots up, started talking execution for this game, and then obviously came in yesterday and really got after it and did some full court stuff, talking about defense, rotating corner, rotating as the fly the ball is happening, because they move the ball a lot, they shoot the three a lot, and they can do both of those really well. So those are kind of the few of the things we were really working on in practice.
Well, when it comes to shooting the three-point ball, Kane Cook for Lake Mills was a guy who had a really good game the first time around, and he's someone who has such a quick release from the three, so you guys kind of have to identify him at all times. What's the key to slowing down Cook tonight?
Well, probably now that we really know how good he is, mix in some face guard, make sure in zone, if we're running some of that zone trap that we do, that you're making sure you're kind of staying with him and we're not trapping, and they throw one to him and he hits a wide open three. So identifying where he's at, taking care of Gall with the ball, the guard, making sure he's not setting the table too well, so maybe we can stay more attached to the other guy. So we'll see how that goes. That's a tough matchup. They're good players, so we'll see what we can do with it.
Well, Coach, we talk all the time about how good Bishop Garrigan's been on the board so far this season. We really saw it on Thursday night with Mari Thomas. Had a career kind of night of 24 points. I think finished with 9 rebounds in that as well. How have you seen him and Lear kind of grow since game number 1 of the season, or even back when you guys saw Lake Mills the first time?
Well, now that they're both capable of, it seems like they could both go off for 15 and 10 each night. And before it was like the goal was, can we get 20 and 20 out of them together? And now we've kind of upped that goal a little bit, and Nick's been working some more post moves. Amari's, trying to, well, we don't want him to slow down, but sometimes when he catches it, it's down on the ground right away, and then he can't go anywhere. So we worked on stuff like that with him, but they play so well together. They complement each other well. I'm pretty sure they both like each other, so it's not, there's some nights where Nick's got 12 boards and Amari's got 8. It's not like at the end of the game he's like, oh man, I should have taken a few from him, so we both could have had a double-double. And the scoring comes and goes for both of them, but when they're aggressive and they play as hard as they can, it's a lot for any team to deal with, because you've got 2 talented guys going at boards, and it's hard to keep both of them off consistently.
Well, Coach, back over on the defensive side of the basketball, tonight you're facing one of the really good pass-first type of guards in the conference with Jackson Gall. And, of course, he can score as well, but he really is one of the better passers in the conference. So when it comes to kind of trying to force, like Milton, some bad passes, some turnovers, how do you sort of disrupt Gall and the rest of their guards?
Well, I don't think we can get comfortable with him. I thought last game we did a nice job first half, and that partially could have been him just not being as aggressive. And then the second half he had a spurt where he got aggressive, and it was 8 quick points and 3-4 quick assists. So we've got to be, thinking all the time, no, this kid's capable of scoring 15 to 20 and getting, 10 assists. So staying mentally focused with him is going to be the key. Even I think the coaches have to be very mindful of that if we're kind of getting in a little bit of a groove back and forth where he's just kind of setting the table but not really doing much. Be ready for it. It's coming, because he's a great player.
Coach, as we wrap up here, what's the biggest thing Bishop Garrigan needs to do today to pick up a victory?
Well, I really want to work on rotating that defense and not giving up corner shots and then set shots where, a guy drives baseline and we turn our back away from the basket, and then we can't see guys behind us and they're getting open threes and letting them on a run. And making sure, again, it's broken record. Advantages in the paint. Can we pound it in there? Against Newman, we're running that play and we've got Amari weak side one-on-one, and he didn't miss many shots that night. And down the stretch, we didn't get him the ball a heck of a lot. So hopefully tonight, if that starts to happen for whoever it is, that we find that guy.
Well, Coach, best of luck tonight against Lake Mills, and thank you so much for stopping by.
All right, thank you.
That's Bishop Garrigan boys basketball coach Mark Meister joining us on Home Country Radio, as we'll take a timeout and get into the girls' second half after these messages on KLGZ.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Signworks Inc. For all your signage needs and printed apparel, stop in or call 295-9544.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying Steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
All sponsors of this game broadcast. Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game on Hometown Home Country Radio.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
Dump It, Kasuth County's local and reliable waste service provider for commercial and residential customers.
Albert Electric, flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants where everyone counts.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Bacon at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs. We're locally owned and operated, which means family, community, and service always comes first. So come to Security State Bank. We'll treat you like family. Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
We've got more Sports Club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Algona Frame and Auto Body. We meet by accident.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service. Call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch. There's so much to love.
Cotton Grave Farm Management and Land Realty, downtown Algona. Trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
Algona Livestock. Sales every Monday.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce. 2 sauces for all seasons.
All bringing you this broadcast on the radio. For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
We've got more Sports Club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
TAFE Wellness Center in Algona and Armstrong, keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Take charge of your health.
Lichter's Garage Door Service and new installations. A reputation you can trust. Call 515-295-5988.
Ed Service Station. Service you can trust.
J&J Custom Meats, continuing the traditions in Whittemore.
Ulrich Construction. Let them do the work.
Sports Club members bringing you this game.
Just about ready for the second half from Bishop Garrigan High School as the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears lead the Lake Mills Bulldogs 22-19 in this girls' top of Iowa West matchup. As always, big thank you to Bishop Garrigan boys coach Mark Meister for stopping by and previewing the boys' game, which will be coming up about 15 minutes after the girls' game wraps up. But boy, what a girls' game we've seen so far in this one. Bishop Garrigan offensively has not had the same kind of night that they've had since winter break. Lake Mills playing excellent defense so far in that 2-3 zone, on the Golden Bears not shooting well on the 3-point ball up to this point. This is one of those days where Bishop Garrigan, you've got a snow day from school, but you still have a game here tonight. You're a bit out of your routine, and the team sure looked like that in the first half. They were just a little bit flat against Lake Mills offensively, and a lot of early shots on the shot clock, a lot of settling for the 3-point ball, and maybe not quite as much ball movement as Coach Schwab would have wanted, but that's not an excuse. Regardless of the routine, you've got to come out and be ready to play, and if you're not, you'll have some company from a Lake Mills team. But on the Lake Mills side of things, this is about as much energy as I've seen them play with when they played against Bishop Garrigan. We've actually seen this Lake Mills girls basketball team in the past couple of seasons have some great starts against Bishop Garrigan, where they come out in the first quarter and take a double-digit lead against the Golden Bears, but usually by the time the second quarter's ended, the game kind of reverses and Lake Mills ends up getting run away from in the second half. But that has not been the case so far tonight. That was 2 really good quarters, especially defensively by Lake Mills, and if they can bring the same kind of intensity in the third quarter and fourth as they brought in the first 2 quarters, especially on the defensive side of the court, they could stick around here against Bishop Garrigan and make things very interesting coming down the stretch. So the 12-2 Golden Bears, the 8-5 Bulldogs of Lake Mills, getting ready to go here in the second half. Bishop Garrigan wearing the white uniforms, move left to right on the radio dials. The second half begins from Bishop Garrigan High School. Tagus catches the pass from Bartolo and gets it out top to Montag. We'll see this opening set from the Golden Bears. The pass goes inside to Eastman, and it's ripped away by Bechtel. The great defense continues for Lake Mills. Golden Bears just 11.6 turnovers per game, least in the top of Iowa West, but Lake Mills has taken a few away from them here tonight. And the Golden Bears have had a couple of unforced errors as well. Sauer working around to the right for Lake Mills, accelerates along the baseline, threads it inside to Dagstead, but first, Sauer stepped out of bounds. Her foot was on the baseline, and Lake Mills turns it over back to Bishop Garrigan. Lake Mills has done a much better job today of getting across Bishop Garrigan's press. They've dribbled into less traps as well against the Golden Bears, but much like the Golden Bears, Lake Mills, they have not shot the ball great so far in the first half. Montag into Eastman as we're underway here in the second half. Outside of Bartolo on the wing. Dribbles across the foul line and finds Olish. Top of the arc from way downtown. Count it! Seisha Olish for 3. 25-19 Golden Bears. We'll see that injects a little life into Bishop Garrigan. Golden Bears have made double-digit 3-point balls in each of their past 4 games. Shooting over 41% in that time as there's a drive the other direction and a score for Lake Mills. Making it 25-21. Dagstead on the board of that. 1 minute gone here in quarter number 3. We've seen a lot of answering buckets, too. We've seen a lot of droughts by these two teams, but it seems whenever one scores, the other one answers right back, and we haven't had a whole lot of big runs tonight as the Golden Bears throw the ball away again. They were looking down towards the right corner and lobbed it out of bounds. So Lake Mills gets the ball back coming off of the Garrigan turnover. Golden Bears 1-2-2 here on this three-quarter court press against Lake Mills. Bechtel lobs it up ahead to Dagstead. Now bounce pass near side to Budock. Budock will get across half court for Lake Mills and work around towards the right. Hands it off just inside of half court towards Bechtel. Bishop Garrigan now back, playing a 2-3 zone here against Lake Mills. Eastman comes out high to pick up Bechtel with the elbow. 16 on the shot clock, pass towards the right side towards Budock. 13 on the shot clock, Lake Mills probing for a shot. Sauer on the wing, gets it into the high post towards Bechtel. Bechtel pivots 360, does it again. 6 on the shot clock, back outside to Grace Bechtel, around towards Sauer. She's got to rescue them again. A step back free for Sauer, and it's no good. Almost knocked that one down, had a good look at it. A scrap for the rebound and a foul on the play. This foul will be against Bishop Garrigan. Great hustle that time by Bailey Dagstead. She was able to get to that spot first and secure the foul against the Golden Bears, their first of the quarter. And Lake Mills comes out for the prescribed energy here in the second half. First personal foul against Zoe Montag. Ball's inbound towards Bechtel. She'll give it off to Budock left side. Budock into the corner to Sauer, trying to shake Montag. She'll bounce the pass back up top to Budock. Around the perimeter towards Bechtel. Bechtel skip feed across the court, finds Sauer. Catch and shoot on the three. Left it short. Rebound tapped around on the lane, and Eastman able to secure the bouncing ball for Bishop Garrigan. Sauer's taking 10.5 3-pointers per game. That is a ton. That leads the top of Iowa West, and she's shooting them quite well at about 29% this season. Right now tonight with 7 points. Eastman over to the right towards Montag, now down towards the baseline to Tigas. Back outside to Bartolo. Quick pass, Olish. Left side Trey. Olish a bit too strong, but tracking down the rebound is Bartolo, and she'll deliver the ball outside to Montag. Lost the dribble and got it back, and shovels it over to Olish. Bishop Garrigan 25, Lake Mills 21. Eastman down the lane, takes to Bartolo, lets it rip. Free ball a little bit too strong. Fight for the rebound, it's out of bounds. Bechtel trying to tap it back in, but that'll be Bishop Garrigan basketball. Ball out of bounds, last touched by Lake Mills, and the Golden Bears will inbound. From right in front of the eyes of Gary the Bear, the Golden Bear mascot always watching from that entrance of the gymnasium. Bartolo looks, trying to get it to Eastman in the lane. Ball got knocked out of bounds by Lake Mills. Golden Bears will keep it and try to run an inbounds play again. Lake Mills did a great job against Eastman last time these teams matched up, as Eastman has held to single-digit points, but the Golden Bear three-point shooters knocked down enough threes for the win. Inbounds pass knocked away by Bechtel, scrap for the basketball, and Montag able to get in there and force the tie-up. Good hustle by Zoe Montag. That should have been all Bechtel's ball, but Montag was able to run in there late and force the tie-up. Possession arrow is towards Lake Mills, but that will flip it around for the next time for Bishop Garrigan. 25-21, 5:20 here in the third quarter. Bishop Garrigan, the past 2 games they played, have really blown out opponents in the third quarter with 20-plus point efforts against Belmont Clemmy as well as Newman Catholic. But so far, Lake Mills, they withstood the start of the game barrage, and they also withstood the start of the third quarter barrage and prevented it from happening. Here is Bechtel. Bechtel, tough leaner, no good. Ball got tapped out right back to Bechtel. Bechtel, 15-footer, and she swished it. That'll be Kate Bechtel on that one. 6 points for her, and it's 25-23. Lake Mills winning a lot of the hustle plays so far tonight as the Golden Bears rotated around the perimeter. They find Eastman in the lane, kicks it out to Montag. Montag from the near side, splashes a three-point shot. Boy, did the Golden Bears need that one. 28-23 on the first Montag free ball of the night. Montag shooting a career high on three-point shots this season. Lake Mills breaks the press, layup is missed, and Eastman rips down the rebound as Budock frustrated with herself after that one. Here comes Bartolo other direction. Bucket is towards the right. Feeds it to Montag right side, now back up top towards Bartolo. Around the arc towards Olish. Lobs it near side of the court towards Montag. Montag looking inside, nobody home. She'll fling it back to left wing to Bartolo. Now top of the key towards Olish. She'll catch, she'll shoot, she'll make! Another free for the Golden Bears, and it's 31-23. Maybe the free balls are starting to creep back in. That's 12 points by Olish, her 7th straight double-digit game. Short corner Bechtel, mid-range Jay, Bechtel no good. Just a touch too strong on that, and here comes Bartolo for Bishop Garrigan. The Golden Bear Jr. across half court, gets the Eastman screen, now pass to the right side towards Olish, back up top to Bartolo, around to left wing to Montag, baseline towards Tigas. The Garrigan freshman stepping into the lane, banking off glass, no, and the rebound lands down in the hands of Grace Bechtel for Lake Mills. 31-23 Bishop Garrigan, 6 straight points by the Golden Bears. Sauer for Lake Mills trying to generate, she'll get the ball over to the right towards Bechtel. Lake Mills lost their last 16 matches with the Golden Bears as Bechtel bangs away inside, left-hander no, rebounded by Eastman. Bechtel was not able to use the glass on that one, had to just try to send it into the bucket and couldn't do it. Now Alish in the right corner, arcs up the three, and hits it again! Keep shooting at Seisha Alish. 15 points by the Garrigan Jr., and it's 34-23 Golden Bears. That's a 9-0 scoring run, as Lake Mills desperately trying to answer, but first we'll take a timeout. Coach Beth Van Roekel whistles for the timeout with 3:07 left in the third quarter, as Seisha Alish is arcing in the three-point balls. 34-23 Bishop Garrigan. It'll be a 30-second timeout here for Lake Mills. Well, we've talked about Coach Van Roekel in the past, and it's worth mentioning she's very busy in the fall season as well. Coach of the Lake Mills cross-country team is their boys team. Just won their second straight Class 1A state cross-country title. Their first 2 cross-country titles in program history. So she rolls right from that cross-country season in the basketball season, and has done a great job with this Lake Mills basketball team as well, trying to push their way towards the top of the conference. Right now, 4th place in the conference is Bishop Garrigan. Right now, 2nd behind Forest City. North Union, 1 game ahead of Lake Mills in the loss column in 3rd place. Lake Mills last year tied for 4th place in the conference with Belmont Clemmy, but Lake Mills on Friday night completed the season sweep of the Broncos in conference play, knocking off Belmont Clemmy twice. Golden Bears 34, Bulldogs 23, 3:07 left in the 3rd quarter, and 3 3-point balls by Bishop Garrigan have turned a 25-23 lead into a 34-23 advantage. Defensively, Bishop Garrigan sticking to the 2-free zone. Budak in the high post gets it outside towards Grace Bechtel of 17 on the shot clock. Lake Mills has had some long, deliberate possessions on offense, but sometimes they run out of time towards the end of the shot clock before a good shot gets created. Pass into Bechtel on the block. Bechtel against Eastman gets it outside to Sauer. Catches, shoots, and swishes it. That's just a little too much space for Cora Sauer there. A great inside-out look by Lake Mills. And the 9-0 Bishop Garrigan run is over. 34-26. Bartolo, the answer for free. Emmy Bartolo pulling up from the top of the key. She answers a Sauer free-pointer for one of her own. And that's 4 free-point balls by Bishop Garrigan during this 12-3 scoring run. Lake Mills gets across the 1-2-2 press. Alish nearly intercepted the pass near side to Sauer, who's into double figures of 10 points now for Lake Mills. 2:15 left in the 3rd quarter, 37-26. Into the high post to Kate Bechtel, out to Grace Bechtel. Lobs it near side of the court to Budak on the wing. Back up top towards Sauer. Sauer 1 dribble, thought about pulling, got it to Bechtel in the high post. Returns the ball to Sauer, and a foul whistle on play against Bishop Garrigan. They are going to get Alish on that one, working against Bechtel near the elbow. That will be Alish's 2nd personal foul. Bishop Garrigan, 2 team fouls so far in the 2nd half. Hoagland and Takis come into the ball game. Bartolo and Eastman check out. It's 15 points so far tonight by Seisha Alish, and an 11-point Bishop Garrigan lead over Lake Mills. Inbound to Dagstead for the Bulldogs. 2 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. Bouncing on one leg is Budak, throws the ball towards Sauer. Ball's deflected out of bounds. Ava Roffler touched it last for the Golden Bears. As right now it's Roffler, Nielsen, Tigges, Alish, and Hoagland for Bishop Garrigan on the floor. Golden Bears have scored at least 67 points in 5 straight games, but so far trying to do defense against Lake Mills, leading 37-26. Sauer across towards the right, finds the cutting Budak on the elbow, now back outside towards Bechtel. Over to Budak on the wing, squares for a 3-point try, left it way short, long deflection though, and Budak tracks down her own miss at the top of the arc. Fresh 35 for Lake Mills as Sauer returns the ball to Budak. Dribbles towards the right, then towards the left, pivots around and flings it right side towards Grace Bechtel. Into the high post towards Sauer. Sidesteps. Jumper from the foul line extended. It rims out. Ball tapped around right to Kate Bechtel from the baseline. Her jumper settles into the cup. Kate Bechtel has been Johnny on the spot so far tonight for Lake Mills. A couple of those rebounds and second chance opportunities for her, and it's 37-28. Back down to a 9-point game out of the timeout by Lake Mills. Alish pulls from way downtown. Ball rims out. The heat check wasn't there, and the rebound into the hands of Bechtel for Lake Mills. Grace Bechtel on that last rebound. Sauer across the timeline. We're ticking down towards 1 minute left in the 3rd quarter as Lake Mills throwing punches here against Bishop Garrigan to stay in this ball game. Bechtel at the elbow, lets it rip, buries the 15-footer. What a shooting night so far for Kate Bechtel. The mid-range queen for Lake Mills here. We're under 1 minute left. 37-30 is the score right now. Kate Bechtel came into the game averaging 8 points per game, the number 2 scorer on the team behind Cora Sauer, and ready to join her in double digits tonight. Hoagland on the near side of the court, 20 on the shot clock for the Golden Bears. Pass towards Tigges in the high post, intercepted as Alish couldn't find her, but then the Golden Bears steal it right back in transition. Shot clock and game clock essentially even right now. Final 31 seconds of the quarter. Alish dribbles at the edge of the half-court line. Gets it right side to Roffler. The Golden Bears will burn some clock here. Tigges into the corner to Nielsen. 21 on the game clock. Now Roffler on the wing, back outside, returning the ball towards Alish. Alish dribbles a couple of steps towards the right side. Creeping towards her is Budak for Lake Mills. Down to 12 seconds. Tigges in the high post. Tigges traveled. Yep. That was an awkward-looking move there for Tegas, trying to turn a little bit while maintaining the dribble and shuffle the shoes as Lake Mills has it back with 9.7 seconds left. Plenty of time to get it up the court here. Into Sauer, 8 seconds. Sauer just crossing half court to 5. She'll find Grace Bechtel across the right to Budak. Budak inside, she'll find Dagstead, blocked at the buzzer. Carly Nielsen eradicated that shot, and it'll stay a 7-point game. Lake Mills works their way back into it, though. Garrigan had extended the lead to double figures. Now it's down to a 7-point game, 37-30 as we head to the fourth quarter on Home Country Radio KLGZ and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game.
Runkey Brothers Full Service. Experience the Runkey Brothers difference for all your auto service and repair needs.
Nutrient Ag Solutions of Irvington and Laverne for all your crop input needs.
Erpelding Voigt and Company CPAs. They're not just about taxes.
Hy-Vee. Use the Fuel Saver card. Fill your cart, fuel your car.
North Iowa Appliance Center, Highway 18 East in Algona, where they sell the best and service the rest.
Erpelding Excavating Enterprises. Let them take care of your grading, excavating, and drainage needs.
All bringing you this ball game. When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at MoneyPass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
Start of the fourth quarter from Bishop Garrigan High School. It's the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears 37 and the Lake Mills Bulldogs 30 on KLGC Home Country Radio. Bartolo left wing tray to start the quarter, and it barely grazed the rim. Rebound is in the hands of Wempen for Lake Mills. Gets it out to Larry. Garrigan wanted to travel there as Larry took a little stutter step, but they let that one go. Lake Mills used their starters almost the entire third quarter, and now they brought Wempen in off the bench as well as Larry. Pass into the lane, deflected away and stolen by the Golden Bears. Bishop Garrigan outscored Lake Mills 15-11 in the third. Tegas to the side step, got to the rack, and she traveled. Tegas gets called again for another travel as there is a freezing of all the players on the court saying, was that a foul, was that a travel? All 10 eyes looking at the referee, and it'll be a travel on Tegas. Much as Bishop Garrigan ended the third quarter. They try to trap Sauer, she'll fling it over to the right to Bechtel. 10 points by Sauer, 10 points by Kate Bechtel as well tonight, leading the way for Lake Mills. Stacia Olish, 15 to pace Bishop Garrigan. Bartolo guards Sauer near to half court as Sauer lobs it near side of the court towards Larry. Now down into the left corner to Kate Bechtel. Out to Grace Bechtel, bobbles, gets it around to the right towards Sauer with 10 on the shot clock. Sauer directs traffic offhand. Up top to Larry, 8 on the shot clock. Near side of the court to Bechtel, to Sauer. Sauer 15-footer, left it short. Rebound loose, and Olish is able to peel it away. Another long grinding possession for Lake Mills, but they couldn't find an open shot there and had to take the 15-footer, of course, Sauer. Here's Bartolo on the drive. She'll kick it out to Montag. Passes out of her range, though, and out of bounds. Montag was trying to work her way all the way down towards that far corner, and Bartolo threw it a little wide for her on that drive as the Golden Bears have struggled with turnover issues so far tonight. Tegas checks out. Nielsen in for Bishop Garrigan of 6:42 left in the fourth quarter. But a different Lake Mills team than the one Bishop Garrigan was able to defeat 51-28 back on December 10th. Lake Mills 27 turnovers in that game. They've looked better tonight, although offensively it's been a slow go for both sides. The lob near side intercepted right on cue. There's a turnover forced by Bishop Garrigan. Montag between the circles, picks up a dribble and finds Bartolo in front of the Garrigan bench. Down to the short corner to Nielsen. One dribble back out to Bartolo. Inside to Eastman. Eastman pivots, nothing home, shovels to Nielsen. Short corner jumper, rims out no good. Eastman wipes the glass. She falls and she draws the foul. Eastman, if a chance, shoot 2 free throws right now for Bishop Garrigan, and she's stuck with that play and did not let herself get dislodged from the paint by the Lake Mills interior defense. Eastman to the charity stripe, where she's shooting just under 63% so far this season. Bishop Garrigan also at about 63% as a team, but Eastman misses on the first one, and the score stays at 37-30. Eastman right now sitting at 6th in the top of Iowa West in points per game, averaging 15 per. She's been held to 4 so far tonight by Lake Mills, who, much like the first time around, has committed a lot of resources towards guarding Eastman in the lane. Eastman swishes the second free throw, and Bishop Garrigan up by 8, 38-30. Lake Mills has gotten as close as 2 points, but they have not led. As Sauer gets the ball right side towards Bechtel. Grace Bechtel returns the ball to Sauer in the corner. Wide open free, and off the front of the rim, no good. That was a great job by Dagstead running interference that time to open up Sauer in the corner, but Sauer couldn't knock that one down as the Golden Bears dodge a bullet. Nielsen in the short corner right side finds Eastman on the block. Eastman playing bully ball, powers it up and in. Eastman took it into the body of Bechtel, and it's a 10-point lead for Bishop Garrigan. Give Eastman 7 points tonight. The first team all-conference selection from last season going to work here in the fourth. Lake Mills now trying to answer. Boy, 10 points does feel like a lot, though, of how the offense has been functioning tonight. Sauer from way downtown left it short, but got the friendly deflection, and it dropped through. She left that free ball short, but it bounced up and went through the cup to make it 40-33. Give Sauer 13 points on that long three-point ball from several feet behind the arc. Into the high post to Nielsen. Make that to Eastman, drives inside and scores. Eastman was able to split 2 defenders that time as Garrigan brought her out to the high post and let her get downhill with the dribble. 9-point Bishop Garrigan advantage. Bechtel underneath to Dagstead, brings it back outside to Grace. Bechtel launches on the three, off back iron, stealing it for the rebound. Budok offensive board. Garrigan trying to rip it away, loose on the floor, and Eastman took it away. And did she travel? Or was a timeout called by Lake Mills? Lake Mills was calling for a timeout, but it's actually Garrigan that gets the timeout off. They'll say Garrigan had the possession. Timeout was called before Lake Mills could force a jump ball as Coach Schwab able to get that timeout off. So it's a 60-second timeout. We'll take it as well. Bishop Garrigan 42 and Lake Mills 33 on Home Country and the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
AK's Chrome Kitchen. When you come in, your family.
Farmers State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Phil's Auto and Truck Repair. Service is the difference.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oakcrest Funeral Services, celebrating a life lived.
All bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Bishop Garrigan 42, Lake Mills 33 as we play in the fourth quarter from Bishop Garrigan High School on this cold Tuesday night. So thank goodness we're inside for this one. But Golden Bears and Lake Mills Bulldogs grinding out a tough Top of Iowa West game. It's been a game with a slower pace, limited possessions on both sides, some long possessions, and really not a great shooting night on either side, but some excellent defense being played so far in this one. 4:55 left in the fourth quarter as Bishop Garrigan has the 9-point advantage right now over Lake Mills. Golden Bears have opened up the three-point ball a little more here in the second half, but it has been inconsistent so far tonight. Bishop Garrigan has Eastman located in the high post right now as they work the ball around the perimeter. Into Eastman. Eastman outside towards Montag. Now around to Bartolo. One step left of center. Down the lane, kicks to Olish. Olish, catch and release. Free ball splashes in. Stacia Olish having a huge night, and it's a double-digit lead. 45-33 Bishop Garrigan gives Stacia Olish 18 points. Came in averaging 13 per game on 41% shooting from the field. Grace Bechtel the answer. No good. Rebound by Dagstead, though, for the offensive board. Pivots left, draws the foul. Dagstead got hacked in the lane that time, and she'll be shooting 2 free throws. Bishop Garrigan, their first foul of the quarter, and they will say Eastman got a little overzealous on that one, getting Dagstead on the wrist. 18 points by Olish tonight, 9 by Eastman for Bishop Garrigan to lead away. It's been Sauer of 13, Kate Bechtel of 10 for Lake Mills as Dagstead rims out on the free throw, and the score right now of 45-33. Well, there's no question in this game Lake Mills' defense can hold down the Bishop Garrigan offense, but can this Lake Mills offense score quickly enough and generate enough points to overcome a 12-point deficit, now an 11-point deficit as Dagstead knocks down the free throw? They're just having these long, grinding possessions that are taking 25, 30 seconds, and eventually, as they're approaching the 4-minute mark of the fourth quarter, that's going to be too much time. Right now, 45-34 Bishop Garrigan. Eastman driving downhill from the high post. Reaching in, there's Dagstead as she forced the tie-up. Eastman was pointing at her wrist saying, Dagstead got me on the arm, but the official says, no, she didn't. That was all basketball, as he demonstrates the basketball right in front of Eastman as well to show what he saw in that play. Well, Garrigan's gotten the right idea, as when they put Eastman down in the low post, Lake Mills is really all over her and trying to deny the entry pass in the first place, but you put her in the high post, you can put the ball in her hands a little more and let her try to drive downhill. Left double J by Budok is airballed. Bechtel trying to save it in. Olish tracks down the ball in the corner. Olish wants to run. She outlets down the floor to Eastman, makes a great catch, and finishes off glass. 47-34. Bishop Garrigan, QB1, Stacia Olish, firing that one down the length of the floor. Give Eastman 11 points here tonight. 47-34 Golden Bears. On the right side, Budok looking into the high post to Kate Bechtel. Bechtel working the dribble. The turnaround jumper, left-handed off glass, no. Rebound popped around in the lane and into the hands of Ava Roffler for the Golden Bears. Now 3:22 left. Time on the Golden Bears side here, but you'd like to see a few more buckets to really try to seal this one. This game's so important for the Golden Bears. We've already one loss in the conference. You really can't afford a second if you want to keep pace of Forest City. Bishop Garrigan right now up by 13. Eastman outside left to Bartolo. I could have fought better of a three-point ball as Budak ran out to her. Bartolo got the ball back from Hoagland, down the lane, flips it underneath to Roffler. Roffler reverse layup, off glass and off rim, but not into the bucket. Roffler got her own miss back, and she drew the foul. 2 free throws coming for Ayla Roffler, who was stuck with that play. Tried a really difficult reverse that time, but Golden Bears did a good job of finding her underneath. Even though she couldn't finish the reverse, Lake Mills was in no position to rebound that ball as the second personal foul picked up by Kate Bechtel. Hayden Wempen into the ball game for Lake Mills. So far in the fourth quarter, Bishop Garrigan outscoring Lake Mills 10-4. Lake Mills had the scoring advantage in the second, 11-7. Golden Bears the scoring advantage every other quarter. As Lake Mills calls a timeout, it's another 60-second timeout, and we'll take it as well. 2:55 left in the fourth, and Bishop Garrigan up by 13 on Home Country Radio, KLGZ.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
More sports club members.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush beats a full house.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for health care.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
Reeves Wicked Good Bar and Grill, for wicked good food, drinks, and service, you gotta go to Reeves.
High Point Land Company, your trusted land partner in Algona.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Bishop Garrigan 47, Lake Mills 34 as we return in the fourth quarter on KLGZ Home Country Radio. Here's Roffler on the baseline drive, gets turned back outside by Dagstead as she'll find Bartolo. 2:49 left in this one. In the lane, high pass to Eastman. Out towards Olish. Olish, step back 3 on the way. Left it short. Eastman flags down the offensive rebound. Fresh 35 for Bishop Garrigan. No need to rush here, up by 13. Golden Bears going for the win here tonight, looking for their 9th win in conference play. From the lane, Hoagland off glass, missed it with the left hand, and the rebound brought in by Bechtel for Lake Mills. Coach Schwab going for his 300th win tonight, as he's 224 away from that. Lake Mills around the perimeter, deep for Sauer, from way downtown, in and out on the 3, no good. That was nearly a logo 3 there by Sauer. She shot it from show deep, and it went about halfway down, but there's a foul on the rebound against Lake Mills. The Golden Bears have the ball back with 2:17 left. Foul number 4 against Lake Mills, the second personal foul. Whistle against Wempen. Check that, foul number 3 against Lake Mills of the fourth quarter. And 47-34, our score right now. Sauer still sitting on 13 points to lead Lake Mills. Came in averaging 17.5. Golden Bears really try to hold the opposing leading score under their season average, and thus far have done that. Although Sauer certainly had some highlights so far tonight as well. Bartolo guarded by Budak. Gets it out top of the key towards Roffler. Earlier in the game he might shoot that one, but here you're going to burn a little time with 2 minutes left. As Bartolo backs up. Bartolo drives towards the right side and hands it off to Montag. Entering the lane, shovels it to Roffler. 10 on the shot clock. Right back to Bartolo. Hesitates, drives in the lane. Bartolo hooks it up with the left hand. Ball got tipped on the way up, and Lake Mills will wisely let the ball go out of bounds. And maybe it wasn't so wise. They're going to say that's Bishop Garrigan ball. Boy, effort. I sure thought that was last off of Bishop Garrigan there, but they're going to say Lake Mills tipped it on the way out. Lake Mills had an opportunity to grab that rebound. They'll get it inside the Eastman. Eastman turned around at the horn, and the ball went in, but they're going to say it was after the 35-second clock. Boy, what a nice jumper by Eastman, but it's not going to count. 35-second violation against Bishop Garrigan. So Lake Mills, after not getting the loose basketball on the rebound, was able to avoid the jumper there by Eastman. Ball's rolled in to save a couple of seconds, picked up by Bechtel. Bechtel top of the arc, bullet underneath, finds Dagstead. Dagstead to Wempen, now back outside. Lake Mills couldn't get the easy 2 there. 1:30 on the clock, sidestepping Budak. Budak 3, and she swishes it. Budak's first field goal of the night. Came in shooting 35% on 3-point balls, and it's down to a 10-point game, but does Lake Mills have enough time? 47-37, Bartolo bursting into the front court. Ball's knocked away. Here comes Bechtel the other direction. Bechtel Pulling up, passing to Sauer underneath. Sauer missed on the layup. Oh, is that a big miss? Rebound ripped away, though, by Wempen for Lake Mills. Out to Budock, now running to the right to Sauer. Sauer free. It's short. Rebounded again by Dagstead, but she fell down, and the ball rolls loose. Lake Mills has the basketball, and Dagstead is still down on the floor right now. Fading back for three, Sauer. It rims out, and Montag finally flags down the loose rebound, and they're going to stop the play here if an injured Dagstead down on the floor. Dagstead's been hustling all night, going after the loose basketballs, and Lake Mills had 3 opportunities there to get points on the board, but now Dagstead is crumpled down on the floor here with Coach Van Roekel taking a look at her. They'll call the players off the floor. We'll take a quick timeout here as well while they tend to Dagstead on Home Country and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game on Hometown Home Country Radio.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
Dump It, Kasuth County's local and reliable waste service provider for commercial and residential customers.
Albert Electric, flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants where everyone counts.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
American Glass, for all your glass needs, think American.
Farm Bureau Financial Agents Dave Beisch, Daniel Foth, and Michael Tull.
Chemco Tires, they're all you need to know about tires and service.
Wykert Realtors, the 515 Agency, a fresh approach to real estate.
Grassmasters, growing satisfied customers.
Iowa Lakes Community College, your community, your college.
Glenn's Green Thumb, from a small seed, something beautiful will grow.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
So Dagstead helped just to the bench for Lake Mills. They were tending to that right ankle as she is out of the game right now following that injury. Bishop Garrigan has the ball back. 49 seconds remaining in this one. 47-37 Golden Bears. Alish works around the perimeter and finds Montag top of the arc. Bullet inside to Eastman. Pivots away. Throws the ball straight up in the air, and Lake Mills is able to take it away with Budock. Eastman is trying to power that ball up for a couple more points here, but with 36 seconds left, Lake Mills has the basketball. Taking a little time here of Sauer waiting for the screen. You don't have time for that. Sauer's going to launch. Sauer short on the three-point ball. Long rebound outside to Budock, though, with 25 seconds left. Around towards Bechtel now, inside to Grace Bechtel. Her pass towards the other block to Wempen, knocked away, but Lake Mills able to control it. Sauer with 18 seconds left, dribbles around the arc towards the right. Sauer to the foul line, her runner up, and that is no good off to the right. And Eastman brings down the rebound of 10 seconds left. And Bartolo trying to dribble out of traffic. She is fouled by Sauer with 8.1 remaining in this one, and Bishop Garrigan up 47-37. Well, it was not the prettiest of nights offensively for the Golden Bears, but excellent defense on both sides, and Bishop Garrigan going to come out of this with a hard-fought win against Lake Mills. Final 5 seconds ticking away as Bartolo will dribble it across half court to make it official. Bartolo into the forecourt. Final second off the clock, and that is it. Bishop Garrigan grinds out a 47-37 win over a Lake Mills team that fought the Golden Bears tooth and nail in tonight's game. Bishop Garrigan with the win, 13-2 overall in the season, 9-1 on the top of Iowa West, and Coach Schwab has win number 300. Meanwhile, Lake Mills, they fall to 8-6 overall and 7-4 on the top of Iowa West. This win will be number 6 in a row for Bishop Garrigan. We'll step aside for a timeout. Look at the final numbers after this on Home Country Radio, KLGZ.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Signworks Inc. For all your signage needs and printed apparel, stop in or call 295-9544.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at MoneyPass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game.
Runkey Brothers Full Service. Experience the Runkey Brothers difference for all your auto service and repair needs.
Nutrient Ag Solutions of Irvington and Laverne for all your crop input needs.
Erpelding Voigt and Company CPAs. They're not just about taxes.
Hy-Vee. Use the Fuel Saver card. Fill your cart, fuel your car.
North Iowa Appliance Center, Highway 18 East in Algona, where they sell the best and service the rest.
Erpelding Excavating Enterprises. Let them take care of your grading, excavating, and drainage needs.
All bringing you this ball game.
Wrapping up game number 1 of our basketball doubleheader here on Home Country Radio KLGZ as the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears knock off Lake Mills Bulldogs tonight, 47-37. If you're watching here on the Algona Radio YouTube stream and wondering what was going on with that, well, Coach Schwab won his 300th game and he was given a banner honoring that. Looked like it was signed by all the players, and they were taking pictures down on the floor as well. So big congrats to Coach Schwab on win number 300. I'll say this before we look at the final stats. People talk a lot about the Golden Bears over the years, especially recent seasons. They say, the teams of Crooks and Joyce, they went to state 4 years in a row. In fact, 5 years in a row if you count last year as well. Won a couple of state titles, went to 4 state championship games, and you've got to throw Coach Schwab's name in there as well. He's one of the premier coaches in the state, and he has proven why year after year of this Bishop Garrigan team that's made themselves a regular contestant at Wells Fargo Arena, especially the past couple of seasons. Once Crooks and Joyce have graduated, Coach Schwab didn't graduate, and the tradition didn't graduate either. So big congratulations to Coach Schwab. Win number 300 in his career for the Golden Bears, as we'll hopefully get a few words from him at halftime of the boys game, get a chance to talk about this Bishop Garrigan 47-37 win over the Lake Mills Bulldogs. Looking at a few final numbers for tonight, scoring by quarter saw Bishop Garrigan go up 15-8 after 1. Lake Mills outscored the Golden Bears 11-7 in the second quarter. This was a 3-point game at halftime. Bishop Garrigan led 22-19 at that point. In the third, Bishop Garrigan had a 15-11 edge over Lake Mills. Golden Bears led 37-30 in the third quarter at the end of the period. Then in the fourth, Bishop Garrigan outscored Lake Mills 10-7 to take this one 47-37. Lake Mills got as close as 2 points in the second half. 25-23 was as close as they got, but they never got over the top. Lake Mills played great defense all night against Bishop Garrigan. The Golden Bears didn't have quite their normal 3-point shooting night, but ultimately Lake Mills themselves, they weren't able to generate enough offense to win this one. Individual scoring tonight, Lake Mills, they were led by Cora Sauer, came in averaging 17.5 points per game, came up just shy of that tonight. She scored 13 in this one. An excellent night for Kate Bechtel, though. 10 points for Lake Mills, the number 2 scorer on the Bulldogs. Hayden Wempen had 5 points, Mackenzie Budock had 3, Bailey Dagstead had 3 points as well, and Natalie Larry scored 3 for Lake Mills. On the Bishop Garrigan side of things, unofficial scoring for tonight, Stacia Alish had 18 points, her 7th straight game of 10 or more points. Graceland Eastman scored 11. Also scoring for the Golden Bears, Emmy Bartolo had 6. It was Madeline Tickets with 4. Zoe Montag 3, Ava Roffler 3, and Carly Nielsen with 2, as the Golden Bears tally 47 points tonight in this 47-37 win over Lake Mills. I say it all the time, you've got to find a way to win differently on different nights. Of course, so far coming out of winter break, it's been high-flying offense for the Golden Bears, premium 3-point shooting, some of the best 3-point shooting in the state. Tonight, totally different. Tonight, it's a grinded-out type of night, force Lake Mills into tough shots, scrap for rebounds, and just find a way to grind out a defensive-oriented victory, and the Golden Bears did that. Anytime you hold an opponent under 40 points in a single game, you're going to have a great chance of winning the ball game, and that is exactly what Bishop Garrigan did tonight, picking up win number 13 of the season and win number 9 in top of Iowa West play to move to 9-1 in the conference, 13-2 overall. Lake Mills, as we said, they'd come in winning 3 of their last 4, but they lose tonight. They fall to 8-6, 7-4 in the top of Iowa West. Up next, Bishop Garrigan's girls will play at Humboldt on Thursday night. Lake Mills will travel to Osage on Friday. With that, we'll step aside for a few quick messages. When we come back, we'll get ready for the boys' game with Lake Mills head coach Kyle Menke. It's next on Home Country Radio KLGZ, 98.5 FM, AM 1600, and the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Signworks Inc. For all your signage needs and printed apparel, stop in or call 295-9544.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at MoneyPass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
We've got more Sports Club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
TAFE Wellness Center in Algona and Armstrong, keeping athletes in the game with chiropractic care. Take charge of your health.
Lichter's Garage Door Service and new installations. A reputation you can trust. Call 515-295-5988.
Ed Service Station. Service you can trust.
J&J Custom Meats, continuing the traditions in Whittemore.
Ulrich Construction. Let them do the work.
Sports Club members bringing you this game.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa bone, joint, and sports surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
And boys, top of Iowa West basketball action is coming up around the corner as tonight the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears take on the Lake Mills Bulldogs. And we're joined on the pregame show right now by Lake Mills head coach Kyle Mankey. Coach, it's always great to talk to you. Thanks so much for joining today on the pregame.
Yeah, great talking with you, and look forward to the conversation.
Coach, as we begin the conversation, let's start with Friday night as you guys picked up a 61-60 victory over a Belmont-Clummy team that's battled just about every team in the top of Iowa West. What were some of the biggest keys for your guys on Friday night to be able to emerge with that hard-fought victory over the Broncos?
Well, that was a really good win for our guys. We had really battled a lot of injury last week, and just dealt with sickness, and for our guys to come out and, as you mentioned, play a Belmont team that is really playing as well as anybody in the conference right now. Hard-fought battle all the way to the end, and our guys made some really nice plays down the stretch, and just a really well-earned victory for us.
And, Coach, when we last talked, you guys were heading into the second game of the season, and we were still kind of figuring out who was going to step up and who was going to emerge as the stars for the Lake Mills team this season. And one of those players who has done that has been Kane Cook. He's shooting about as well as anyone on the top of Iowa West right now. And, of course, last year he was on the bench for you guys on that 25-win team that went to state. But this year, he's really capitalized on his opportunity to move into the starting lineup. When did you realize that Kane Cook was going to be the kind of star, the kind of shooter that he's been so far this season?
Well, he's a kid that has always been a really nice shooter in our program. As you mentioned, was playing behind some of the better players that we've had in school history last season, and just really happy with the way he has stepped into a starting role and has taken on that responsibility of scoring the ball for us. And he's a very good shooter, but he also has the ability to attack the basket a little bit. And he, along with several guys in our program, have really stepped up and have helped us, to another successful season at this point. And a lot of times that just comes from putting in the work and waiting your turn. We've had a lot of talent in the last few years, and it's nice to see some of these kids that have really been working hard and waiting for their opportunity be able to step into some good success.
And, Coach, in tonight's game, it'll be your second time this season facing Bishop Garrigan, as you saw them very early in the season the first time around. And obviously safe to say both teams have made some improvements since that time. But with that being said, what jumps out to you about what you've seen from Bishop Garrigan?
Well, I think Garrigan has had an excellent season. I mean, they present a lot of challenges with their size and then with the good guards that they bring, and they seem to find a way on most nights, and they've been tested by several teams, and they do a really good job of finishing games and utilizing a lot of that experience that they have. And definitely going to be a challenge for us here on the road tonight, but our kids are looking forward to the opportunity to hopefully do some things better than we did the first time around, and we look forward to the matchup.
We're talking right now with Lake Mills head coach Kyle Menke. And, Coach, this is one of those games that has the feel of a big game surrounding it because even though obviously the guys can't get too caught up in looking at the conference standings, people understand that if the team is going to catch up to Bishop Garrigan, tonight's a great night to do it by getting a win over the Golden Bears. So when it comes to handling pressure of big games, how do you go into the game, just mindset-wise, into a night like tonight?
Well, you really have to have a plan of attack as to how you're going to do things, and we really like to focus on the basics here. Just you don't want to put too much into to some of the things that go into a game like this. It's going to come down to fundamentals and execution and being able to defend consistently and take care of the ball. And whenever you're facing another good team, I think you really have to start with those things, those basics, and then build from there.
Coach, along those same lines as we wrap up, what do you see as the biggest thing Lake Mills has to do tonight to emerge with a victory?
Well, we're going to have to be a lot more competitive on the boards than we were in the first game. Garrigan really dominated the interior, which obviously they've been able to do to a lot of teams, which has led to some our own on the boards, and we're going to have to be able to do a good job of containing Joyce and Schwab and some of the things that they can do both in transition and in half court. And then offensively, we just need to continue. We've played some pretty good offensive basketball at times since the beginning of January, and we just need to keep making strides to have quality possessions and to make sure we're getting good shots every time down the floor. And if we can do those things, hopefully it's a real competitive ball game that we have a chance to win.
Coach, as always, great to talk to you today. Thank you so much for the time, and best of luck in tonight's game against Bishop Garrigan.
Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate it.
That was Lake Mills head coach Kyle Menke with his pregame thoughts. When we come back, it's a key top of Iowa West matchup. The 9-3 Lake Mills Bulldogs taking on the 12-2 Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears on Home Country Radio KLGZ and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Signworks Inc. For all your signage needs and printed apparel, stop in or call 295-9544.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Bacon at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs. We're locally owned and operated, which means family, community, and service always comes first. So come to Security State Bank. We'll treat you like family. Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
AK's Chrome Kitchen. When you come in, your family.
Farmers State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Bill's Auto and Truck Repair. Service is the difference.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oak Crest Funeral Services, celebrating a life lived.
All bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
We've got more sports club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Algona Frame and Auto Body. We meet by accident.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service. Call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch. There's so much to love.
Cotton Grave Farm Management and Land Realty, downtown Algona. Trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
Algona Livestock. Sales every Monday.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce. 2 sauces for all seasons.
All bringing you this broadcast on the radio. For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa bone, joint, and sports surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
It's time to meet the starting lineup for the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears.
Nick Lear, senior, number 34.
And now Lear jumps the pass. It was intended for Lostrom. Runs the floor, sails in, layup good.
Amari Thomas, junior, number 33.
And Thomas intercepts the pass. He runs the floor. Look out! Thomas jams it!
Tate Furch, junior, number 4.
Extra pass to Furch. Corner pocket tray. They answer! Tate Furch ties it! 2 seconds left. Timeout for City. Tate Furch, cool as the other side of the pillow.
Carter Schwab, junior, number 24.
1.2 seconds left. Schwab from 3/4 court. Oh, and he put it in! Carter Schwab knocks down the free right before halftime.
Michael Joyce, sophomore, number 11.
And the Hidmel's play is going nowhere. Joyce picks it up to the backcourt, and he's going to flush it. Michael Joyce with the first throwdown of his high school career.
Tip-off of your game is coming up next on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Starting lineup for the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears are coming up with a 12-2 overall record, 8-1 on the top of Iowa West, but they're facing a big game tonight against the 9-3 Lake Mills Bulldogs, who are 7-3 in top of Iowa West play. For Lake Mills and head coach Kyle Menke, it'll be the 5'11 senior Kane Cook, the 6'5 senior Keaton Wempen, the 6'4 junior Jeremiah Jensen, the 6'2 senior Jackson Gall, and the 6'1 sophomore Lucas Helgeland. Of note, Lake Mills' excellent junior Nash Delger is out with an injury tonight. He was injured against West Hancock a few games ago for Lake Mills, and he is in street close tonight. So Lake Mills team that was already banged up throughout the course of the season, dealing with some sickness last week, they're going to be a little bit shorthanded tonight with that spark plug, we'll call him, Nash Delger, not playing tonight's game, and he has been a thorn on the side of the Golden Bears, so a sigh of relief on the Bishop Garrigan side, but still a lot to account for here tonight against Lake Mills, starting with Kane Cook, their great three-point shooter. Cook made 6 threes last time these two teams matched up. He had 22 points and almost shot Lake Mills to the win in that game. Bishop Garrigan, though, would emerge with a final score of 63-51, their first win in 11 tries against Lake Mills, snapping that 11-game losing streak to the Bulldogs. Now, if you look at the conference standings, Lake Mills, they need this game tonight to stay in top of Iowa West contention. Yes, they would still technically be alive of a loss, but if you have 2 losses to Bishop Garrigan, you pick up your 4th conference loss of the season, that pretty much is all she wrote to keep this conference streak alive for Lake Mills. Lake Mills has won the conference multiple years in a row, and that has gone back to the pre-COVID era, the 2019-2020 season, when the last time Lake Mills didn't win the conference title. They've won 4 straight since that time, and right now that streak is on the line here tonight. They've got to beat Bishop Garrigan to really stay in this race. Bishop Garrigan and Forest City both 8-1 in conference play. Like we said, Lake Mills 2 behind them in conference play in the loss column with a 7-3 overall record. But you got to give credit to Coach Menke and the Bulldogs. They lost their superstar Aiden Stensrud with an injury during football season. He is out for all of basketball season, and a lot of teams would have crumbled when you lose their best player. And I don't think I'm saying anything controversial when I say Aiden Stensrud is ready to be the top player on the top of Iowa West this season, out for the year with an injury. But Lake Mills, they've rebounded, they have regrouped, they have retooled, and they have found ways to win without Stensrud, and they've done that with a 9-3 overall record. But meanwhile, Bishop Garrigan, this has been a breakthrough season for the Golden Bears. Just 2 losses on the season, both of those by single digits. And tonight, they'll try to keep this win streak going. Golden Bears have won 5 games in a row since that loss against Forest City. And this is the longest win streak since Bishop Garrigan made the state title game in 2020 when they won 13 in a row leading up to that. So this Golden Bear team, they're doing some great things as well in their normal starting 5. They're wearing the white uniforms, the gold Garrigan on the front, gold numerals on the front and back of the uniform. Meanwhile, for Lake Mills, it'll be the road purples, the white Lake Mills on the front, white numerals on the front and back outlined in purple, and a checkerboard patterned down the side of the uniform in purple and white. At midcourt for Bishop Garrigan, their double-double averager Amari Thomas, the 6'3 junior, as he'll go up to midcourt and go against the 6'2 senior Jackson Gall of Lake Mills. Gall transferring to Lake Mills last season and really making an addition to their state semifinal team for Class 1A. At midcourt, it's Gall and Thomas. For this top of Iowa West showdown, the Golden Bears and the Bulldogs. Ball is back tapped by Thomas, and we are underway from Bishop Garrigan High School. The Golden Bears move from right to left on the radio dial. These are the top 2 offenses in the conference. Bishop Garrigan 67.5 points per game as Joyce opens up a foul line jumper. No. Lear had the rebound controlled briefly, but it's in and out of his hands and out of bounds. Lake Mills in their number 2 conference offense at 64.6 points per game will get their first crack at it here. 12 seconds into the ball game. Not a bad look, though, for Joyce. And nearly an offensive board and put back for Nick Lear, but just couldn't control the rebound. That's something that Coach Menke emphasized in the pregame show for Lake Mills. He said they lost the rebounding battle against Bishop Garrigan the first time around. They've got to do a better job controlling Lear and Thomas on the glass tonight. Here's Gall working with the basketball for Lake Mills as Gall will hand the ball off to Cook. You've got to stay close to Cook at all times to see uncorked 22 points in that first matchup between these teams. Working inside, it's Wempen. Wempen flings it back out to Gall. Gall will get the Jensen screen with 11 on the shot clock. Down underneath has a man wide open. Laying it up and in is Lucas Helgland, the new addition to the starting lineup with Delger out. A good early possession by Lake Mills, and it's 2-0 Bulldogs here to start off tonight's ball game. Joyce works the ball right side to Furch. Lake Mills giving up 51 points per game. Number 3 defensively in the top of Iowa West. Here's Joyce left wing guarded by Gall. Joyce pivoting around, Gall up in his face, and the ball's handed off to Schwab. You've got to be physical with Joyce and Schwab here tonight if you're Lake Mills. Schwab barrels inside, he turns around, his jumper from the baseline, crawls up the rim and drops through. We are tied at 2 on the mid-range shot by Carter Schwab. 2-2 as Helgland gets the ball outside and around the perimeter to Gall. Gall down the lane, dealing down towards the baseline, and a traveling violation on Gall. He was trying to sidestep his way down low and then dump the ball off to Jensen, but calling for the travel, and Lake Mills with the early turnover. Golden Bears and Lake Mills. Like we said earlier this year, Bishop Garrigan snapped an 11-game losing streak to Lake Mills with that 63-51 win back on December 10th. Schwab and Joyce both had 15 points in that ball game as Lear comes out to the top of the arc and passes left wing to Joyce. Now it's up to Schwab, lets it rip for a free, but the traveling violation called first. They've been calling that tight so far as Bishop Garrigan will give the ball right back to Lake Mills here. 2-2 tie, 1 minute, 30 seconds gone on this one. Lake Mills 17-7 against Bishop Garrigan, dating back to 2013. Golden Bears trying to sweep the season series from the Bulldogs. Cook on the left side, averaging 14.5 points per game, comes out top towards Jensen. Now underneath, they'll find Cook around the perimeter, quick movement, back to Wempen. Wempen three-point try, and he swishes it. Nothing but net for Keith and Wempen, and it's 5-2 Lake Mills. Lake Mills' strategy is to let it fly from three-point land with maybe not having as much size inside as they did in the past, especially with that Stensrud injury. Joyce on the right wing right now. He'll flip it into the high post to Lear, looking out into the corner to Furch with 5:57 on the clock. The backup by Joyce. Collects the ball, feeds Thomas underneath. Thomas pump fakes, got a man to jump by him, and he scores. Cook went flying by, and Thomas has his first field goal of the night. 5-4 Lake Mills in quarter number 1. Here's Wempen, handing the ball off to Cook. Thought about pulling, but had Joyce in his face as Cook goes around the screen. Finds Gall on the right wing. Gall, the assist leader in the top of Iowa West. Baseline jumper, rims out, no good. Rebound tracked down by Schwab. Gall tried the jumper that time, but couldn't hit. Number 2 this season in the conference in assists. The three-point ball is no good. Lear cleanup, though. Lear wipes the glass, and he scores. 6-5 Bishop Garrigan. Gall quickly gets the ball up ahead for Lake Mills. These are also the 2 teams that turn the ball over least in the conference. Lake Mills just 8.8 turnovers per game. Bishop Garrigan 10.7 turnovers. Ball down into the right corner. It's Wempen. Hit the free ball earlier. Wempen comes over to Gall as he's guarded physically by Schwab. Now left to Jensen. Lake Mills senior waves the ball around and goes towards Helgland. Helgland driving down Main Street, rises up, and he draws the foul with 4:59 on the clock. First foul of the ball game on either side, and Lucas Helgland will trek to the free throw line for 2 shots, where he is a 75% free throw shooter. Lake Mills, this is a team that Bishop Garrigan's got to be ready to move with, run the floor with, fly around defensively, as the ball doesn't stay in one space for too long on this Lake Mills offense. Helgland at the line, the 6.5 point per game score, swishes the first free throw, and we are locked up at 6 apiece. Bishop Garrigan and Lake Mills here in quarter number 1. Last time these teams matched up, of course, rebounding for Bishop Garrigan was the key, but also key, Golden Bears had 5 players score 8 or more points. They need that kind of balance again tonight. Second free throw, no good, and the rebound is controlled by Nick Lear. Into the front court, it's Joyce. Deals corner pocket to Schwab. Catches and shoots the three, and it's in and out. Ball went halfway down, and it's a fight for the rebound. 2 Lake Mills players going at it as Cook and Helgland battled, and Cook said, "Give me that." Into the right corner, it's Wempen. Looking for Cook, but being face guarded by Joyce. In the lane, Wempen deals outside, left corner to Helgland. Helgland driving, dealing to the cutting Jensen. Got to the rack, drew the foul, and put it down. Chance for a three-point play by Jensen, and the ball is flying around the court right now for Lake Mills. Great job by Helgland, attracting the defense's attention on that drive, and then looked for Wempen on the opposite, or make that look for Jensen on the opposite side block. And the foul picked up by Michael Joyce, his first personal. 8-6 Lake Mills. Jensen 6 for 8 at the charity stripe this season. That deflected and went through. Thought that was going to bounce out, but it deflected and went down to make it 9-6 Lake Mills. Now Furch pestered in the backcourt by Wempen. Lobs it near side of the court to Joyce. Joyce, 16.7 points per game. Number 4 on the top of Iowa West as he works around towards the right side. Picked up by Cook. Lobs towards Thomas. Foul line extended to right side. Quickly back out to Joyce. Joyce to the elbow. Joyce bounce pass to Lear. Lear mid-ranger from the lane. No. And the rebound picked up by Jensen for Lake Mills. A lot of one and done so far for the Golden Bears. Lake Mills keeping Bishop Garrigan off the offensive glass. Helgland pumps from the lane and flips it back outside to Gall. Gall last year, 137 assists, just 31 turnovers in 17 games played, as we'll hand off to Cook. Lost control of the basketball, was able to track it back down just inside of half court as we're halfway through the first. Gall gets the basketball looking inside, down into the post, working his way towards the center of the paint is Jensen, and he draws another foul. Jeremiah Jensen doing some early work without the basketball in his hands, collects the pass, and will shoot 2 free throws for Lake Mills. That'll be foul number 3 against Bishop Garrigan of quarter number 1, coming at the 3:47 mark as Lear picks up his first personal. So 1 on Furch, 1 on Joyce, 1 on Lear, foul-wise for Bishop Garrigan, as the free throw by Jensen is short, and the Golden Bears will make the call to the bench. Mahler and Sink checked into the ball game. Drew Mahler and Trayton Sink, the pair of seniors, replacing Nick Lear and Tate Furch. Here once again is Jensen setting up for the foul shot. Lake Mills has struggled with the line this season as Jensen missed the second one too. Lake Mills under 55% this year. They are 8th out of 9 teams in the top of Iowa West in free throw shooting percentage. 9-6 Lake Mills. Joyce has the basketball for Garrigan, giving it off to Schwab with 3:36 on the clock. Bucket is towards the left. On the wing to Sink. One dribble looking for Joyce, out at the top of the arc, now around to the right to Schwab. Thomas posting up against Jensen. Jensen being very physical of Thomas, not letting him get too deep inside. Thomas catches anyway, shoots over Cook, ball short. Rebound off the leg of Thomas and out of bounds. Lake Mills doing a great job on that possession, really forcing Thomas to throw all of his weight into the body of Jensen and try to work hard to get inside position, making that shot tough. 9-6 Lake Mills. Bishop Garrigan, of course, they're going to try to jam that basketball inside against the Lake Mills team that has the size disadvantage today against Bishop Garrigan. The twin towers of Thomas and Lear. Helgren looking inside. He finds Gall. Gall off glass, and he scores it. The ball settles into the soft touch. Good start by Lake Mills on the road. 11-6 Bulldogs. Bishop Garrigan trying to get that offense on track. Into the corner to Joyce. Make that to Sink off the pass from Joyce. Now top to Schwab for Bishop Garrigan. Schwab deals to Joyce. Out beyond the perimeter, Joyce dribbles across the foul line towards the left with 18 on the shot clock. Turns his back to the bucket, now he accelerates. He spins, one-legged J from the elbow, off the back of the cup, and Helgren sails in for a rebound. A ton of energy being brought by Lake Mills on defense so far. Here's Cook, who's been held scoreless so far tonight for Lake Mills. 11-6 right now, Bulldogs in the lead. It'll be a handoff to Cook as he gave the ball towards Jensen and got it right back. Now he'll give it to Gall. Gall, the 6'2 senior, averaging 14.4 points per game, 5.2 rebounds, and 5.8 assists. Gall outside to Helgren, across the foul line, down the lane, into the body of Mahler. He puts it up, and he puts it in. 13-6 Lake Mills. Very meticulous possession once again on offense as Helgren has 5 points. Being inserted into the starting lineup in place of Nash Delger, and a timeout called by Bishop Garrigan. 2:08 left in the first quarter as Garrigan takes the timeout, down 13-6. And Lake Mills doing a good job of picking apart this Garrigan defense with a great passing game, penetrating into the lane and finishing from short range. It's a 30-second timeout as we will keep it right here. As we mentioned, big game for the conference standings. Bishop Garrigan and Forest City right now tied atop the conference, and neither of those teams want to give up a game in the standings to the other one. Forest City playing North Union tonight. Meanwhile, Lake Mills, as we mentioned earlier, you lose tonight, you're pretty much out of the conference race. It would be almost impossible to catch up to Bishop Garrigan and Forest City. You need a lot of help. Lake Mills has 3 conference losses this season, and they've lost once apiece to Forest City and Bishop Garrigan, so you pretty much have to beat both those teams in the second half of the season. And so far tonight, Lake Mills coming out with a good sense of urgency, up 13-6 over the Golden Bears. But Bishop Garrigan has started slow before, and they've turned it around, so we'll see if that early timeout fixes what ails Bishop Garrigan. Out of the timeout, it's Sink, Thomas, Schwab, Mahler, and Joyce. Joyce is at the controls, so they'll find Sink on the right wing. Sink, jumper from the short corner, and that ball rims out. Rebound is collected by Cook for Lake Mills. Gall now wings it into the corner. He'll find a wide open Wempen, lets it fly, but the three-pointer is short, and the rebound knocked away from Mahler. And it's going to be a foul on Bishop Garrigan. Jensen knocked the ball out of the hands of Mahler. It went to Helgland on the left side, and Helgland got stripped, but he also got fouled. Foul number 4 against Bishop Garrigan, and Helgland will shoot 2 more free throws. Lake Mills has come out. They have matched Bishop Garrigan physicality so far in this game. They've worked the ball into the paint tonight, and that first free throw rims out, but they've missed free throws. Or I believe 4 now, actually. 4 free throw misses by Lake Mills. So they lead 13-6, but they've left a few points on the board here against the Golden Bears. Next free throw is good. Lake Mills this season is taking over 27 3-pointers per game, the most in the top of Iowa West. Golden Bears are devoting a lot of attention to the 3-point line, so Lake Mills is trying to work that ball inside. Now Schwab in the post, barreling his way in. Schwab stumbles a little bit. Was he fouled or did he travel? He traveled on the play. Schwab was trying to split 2 defenders that time, tiptoe and just slide his way between, but Lake Mills held strong, and Schwab called for the travel. 14-6 Lake Mills. All Bulldogs here in quarter number 1. Gall hands the basketball off to Cook. Guarded by Joyce all the way around the arc. Cook picks up his dribble, looks into the lane as he'll find it Wempen. Now it's a Helglund. Helglund splitting 2 defenders, getting tripped up, and he traveled as well. So travels back and forth here. Like we said, they've called that tight as Helglund to try to jump in between Mahler and Joyce for Bishop Garrigan, and Golden Bears have the ball back. Golden Bears have done a good job of identifying Cook. He's wearing the protective face mask, wearing the jersey number 5, as must have had a facial injury earlier this year. Sink with a jumper from the short corner, and that one's gonna go down. Trayton Sink loves that spot. That'll make it 14-8, as Sink has his first field goal of the night. Came in making 10 out of 25 shots of the field prior to tonight's game. In the right corner, Wempen lets it rip, left the free ball short, and Schwab rebounds on the strong side. Schwab striding into the forecourt with a behind-the-back dribble, and 52 seconds left in the first quarter. Finds Sink, short corner again, and that ball short. Fight for the rebound, and that's gonna be a foul by Drew Mahler. Mahler came flying in, but Wempen had the inside position that time as Mahler got a piece of Wempen's hand, the back of his hand that time on the swing through, and that'll be foul number 5 against Bishop Garrigan. So Wempen will check down to the other side of the court and shoot a couple of free throws. Well, a few big factors in Bishop Garrigan's win last time these teams matched up. As we mentioned, it was a big game by Kane Cook. Made 8 out of 18 shots on the field and 6 out of 14 3-pointers. But in that game, besides Cook, nobody else shot the 3-point ball well for Lake Mills. Besides Cook, they were 2 out of 15 on threes, all the non-Cook players. So if the likes of Wempen and Gall get going on 3-point shots tonight, if a few other guys besides just Cook can hit on threes, that can really elevate this Lake Mills offense, as the second free throw is good. 16-8 now Lake Mills. But if the Golden Bears can really make Lake Mills one-dimensional as they were in the first matchup, that will swing the matchup in Bishop Garrigan's favor. Golden Bears were the more balanced team in the first matchup. They were a team that shot the ball better, 54% from the field compared to under 40% at 36 for Lake Mills. Now 37 seconds left in the quarter as Schwab gets it out to Mahler. Mahler around to Joyce. Deep on the right side, guarded by Gall. Gall low in his stance. Gall trying to steal it away. He had the poke away, but Joyce got it back. Joyce opens up for a 3-point ball, and he knocks it down. Gall went for the steal that time, and he got burned when he didn't get it. 16-11 as Bishop Garrigan down by 5 right now. Shot clock now off for Lake Mills. Ball's over to the right side towards Wempen. Now back to Gall with 12 on the clock. Shot clock off as we mentioned. Gall. Pass underneath, finds Wempen. Wempen extra pass, quarter to Helglund, now back up to Gall, 5 on the clock. Gall sidesteps, deep 3-pointer, in and out, no good. Rebound is tapped around, and that is the end of quarter number 1. Lake Mills comes out on the road, and they take the lead over Bishop Garrigan, 16-11 as we head to the second on Home Country Radio KLGZ and at the Algona Radio YouTube live stream.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game on Hometown Home Country Radio.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
Dump It, Kasuth County's local and reliable waste service provider for commercial and residential customers.
Albert Electric, flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants where everyone counts.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Lake Mills 16, Bishop Garrigan 11 on Home Country KLGZ and the Algona Radio YouTube stream. Our video stream presented in part by Algona Municipal Utilities, community owned for community benefit. Chemna Auto Center, where it's not just about the car, it's about the care. Iowa State Bank, helping people succeed. Algona Frame and Auto Body, we meet by accident. And PMC Advantage Insurance Services, where having the advantage makes all the difference. Well, the Golden Bears trail at the end of the first quarter, and unfortunately for Bishop Garrigan, that has been the case several times so far this season. This is the 6th time the Golden Bears have trailed after the first, but they are 4-1 in the first 5 games, so they trailed after 1, so we'll see if they can add another win to that category. Lake Mills moving the ball well early in the game, getting the ball inside against the Bishop Garrigan defense, and working their way to the foul line as right now Lake Mills has the basketball of Cook. Bounce pass towards Gall. Side to the bucket. Gall explodes into the lane. Passes corner to Helglund. Lets it rip again for a 3. That one is short, and parachuting in for the rebound is Nick Learer. 15 seconds gone in the quarter, up to Furch, now to Schwab, trailing, pulling up for a tray, and it bangs off the glass, no. Rebound collected by Thomas. Thomas put back, and he draws the foul. That's Amari Thomas with the offensive boards that have been so key for Bishop Garrigan, and he will shoot a couple of free throws. Thomas continues his lead in the conference, number 1 in the conference in rebounds per game, number 1 in offensive boards per game. He's also taking the fourth most free throws in the conference, as he has been living inside the paint and creating nightmares for the opposing teams so far this season. Thomas puts the first free throw down the drain to make it 16-12. 3 early points for him so far in this one. Golden Bears as a team, they attempted the most free throws per game in the conference. About 14 per game for the Golden Bears as Thomas leaves the second free throw short and rebounds into the hands of Gall for Lake Mills. Gall into the forecourt, bucket is towards the right. Into the lane to Helgen, now out to the corner to Cook. Wide open free, and that ball rims out. Garrigan catches the break. There is the 40% three-point shooter Cook. Couldn't knock that one down. Schwab the other direction, drifts towards the far side of the court. Now brings it back across the foul line. Hands it off to Joyce. Top of the arc. Joyce to Furch. Furch, quick pass to Thomas. Barreling inside. Power move, but he missed on that floater. And a rebound into the hands of Helgeland. 16-12 Lake Mills. Gall top of the arc. He'll pass right corner to Wempen. Wempen into the lane to Gall. Now onto the block to a wide open Helgeland, but he missed the bunny. Helgeland got his own miss back. He's fighting in between Thomas and Lear, and a jump ball gets forced. Helgeland wanted to get that ball back and explode upwards in between Thomas and Lear to try to draw the foul, but tie-up was forced. Possession arrow towards Bishop Garrigan, and the Golden Bears get it back with 6:56 on the clock in the second quarter. Lake Mills coming off their 4th state appearance in the past 5 seasons. Made the semifinals last year after beating North Union in the quarterfinals. As the pass to Thomas has sailed over his head, Furch couldn't find Thomas on the entry pass, and Jeremiah Jensen doing a great job of being extremely physical so far tonight against Amari Thomas. Coach Mankey for Lake Mills, well aware of the fact that Bishop Garrigan wants to dominate points in the paint. It's a 4-point margin right now as Lake Mills is in the lead. Coach Mankey earlier this season won his 400th career game. That was back in December. Corner pocket free, and that one is good again by Keaton Wempen. Wempen with a good early shooting start. 19-12 Lake Mills. Thomas sets a high screen for Joyce. Joyce passes to Thomas in the lane. It got tipped. It went to Lear, and Lear got bumped into that time by Lake Mills. Lake Mills did a good job of covering up that roll to the bucket by Thomas. Bishop Garrigan tried to fit that ball inside anyways, but ball got deflected fortuitously into the hands of Lear as the Golden Bears keep possession. First personal foul on Jensen. Joyce on the wing finds Schwab left corner. Fakes the free, works against Helgeland towards the lane. Now back to left to Joyce out beyond the perimeter. Lear trying to post up inside, being double teamed right now by Wempen and Jensen for Lake Mills. Joyce pivoting around, flinging it right to Furch. Lake Mills' starters have rolled the whole way so far. They'll feed Thomas. He got loose from the defenders. He put it off the window and missed. Got his own miss back. He pumps, patiently puts it up and in. Amari Thomas waited for the defender to go by him and makes it 19-14. So good at getting his own miss back and patiently letting the defenders jump by him and lay it in for the easy 2. Pass to the right side towards Cook, trying to shake loose as he backs up, but Joyce is sticking on him like glue right now. Now Furch pokes the ball away from Cook as he came over as Garrigan had to switch. Out to Gall now, 5:36 on the clock and 15 on the shot clock. Gall top of the arc, sidestepping, nothing there. Now Lear's on him. Gall with the hesitation, the drive to the bucket and the score. He got Nick Lear with the hesi that time as Lear throws the ball and frustratedly back to Schwab. 21-14 in favor of Lake Mills. Schwab had the ball dislodged, but Garrigan collected it with Joyce. Furch looking inside, nothing home. Out to Joyce now, 20 on the shot clock, 5:12 on the game clock. The Bishop Garrigan sophomore Joyce, averaging 4 assists per game, comes around the perimeter as Furch has the ball now for Bishop Garrigan. Back to Joyce, 10 on the shot clock. Gall guarding him, Thomas setting the screen. Joyce looking for the rolling Thomas. Tough catch, Thomas can't make it. Ball loose on the floor, and it's peeled away by Jensen for Lake Mills. Once again, they covered up that roll to the bucket. Wempen on the right side, trying to keep his feet, and he just did. Bounce pass to the cutting Cook, right of the paint. Cook's shot got eradicated. Garrigan off the block, and now Schwab runs the other direction. Schwab down the lane, barreling into defenders, tries to slop up the shot, and a traveling violation is called. This has been a game where not a ton of fouls have been called, but a lot of travels have been called as Schwab got hit with the roadblock that time. Lake Mills will finally call on the bench for the first time tonight. Stephen Howell, the 6'4" senior, checks into the ball game. Howell, just under 36% from three-point range so far this year. He's a good 3-and-D guy for Lake Mills, as 28 out of his 33 shot attempts have been from three-point range. It's Lake Mills by a touchdown right now, 21-14. Gall top of the arc with 4:22 and ticking. Out into the right corner towards Jensen. Jensen out to Howell, now around to left to Gall. Guarded by Furch. Gall looking. Gets it back onto the wing to Helgeland, who's had a good game so far. Helgeland underneath. Ball got dropped, though, by Wempen, and Thomas is able to collect it before it goes out of bounds. Wempen couldn't catch the ball cleanly, and now Schwab runs. Schwab up to the bucket, hits the spin move, and a foul on the floor against Helgeland. Schwab saw the smaller Helgeland going up against him and wanted to take advantage, taking that ball to the rack. Foul on Lake Mills will be Helgeland's second. Lake Mills' third team foul of the quarter, as Cook will enter the ball game once again, and Helgeland will head to the bench. Schwab will be the inbounder for Bishop Garrigan. Left side baseline, Golden Bears put one player at each corner of the paint. Schwab, number 5 in the conference in assists per game, looking and finding the jumping Lear beyond the perimeter. Now around to Joyce. Furch one step right of center, collects the pass, takes a couple dribbles in, and he's pestered by Howes. He'll lob it back aside to Schwab. Schwab gets the Thomas screen. Schwab trying to get downhill, driving inside and drawing the foul. Carter Schwab forcing the issue right there and forces the 4th foul by Lake Mills so far in this quarter. That foul is going to be picked up by Jeremiah Jensen, his second personal. And Drew Mahler will enter the ball game for Bishop Garrigan after the first free throw attempt by Schwab. Schwab 55.6% of the line, missed on the first one. As Garrigan's offense trying to get unstuck here against Lake Mills. Right now down 21-14. Both of these teams have played in some close games in conference play as of late. Schwab's second free throw is down the drain to make it 21-15. Lake Mills' most recent game was a 61-60 win over Belmont Clemmy, a Bronco team who I think has played a tough down-to-the-wire game against just about every team in the top of Iowa West. Meanwhile, Bishop Garrigan, a couple single-digit wins, beat Newman Catholic 66-58 and beat Belmont Clemmy 61-54 in their most recent 2 games. Working his way inside his Gall, whips it into the corner to Cook, who got covered up by Joyce. Cook will come back out to Gall, and Lake Mills will reset here on offense. Gall deep on the wing and sinks in front of him this time with 3:30 on the clock. Left wing to Cook, guarded by Joyce. Keeps the high hands to not let Cook get loose. Now round to the right towards Howell. Back over to Gall left side. Gall elevates for a 3-point try. A little bit off to the right, and flying in for the rebound is Thomas for Bishop Garrigan. Thomas passed one off the shoulder of Lear and then went right back to Thomas as he's able to get it over to Joyce now. Joyce sidesteps, unleashes a tray, rattles out no good. Joyce did a great job of working around Thomas that time and creating the open look himself, but couldn't knock down the 3-point shot. Top of the arc right now, Wempen for Lake Mills. 3 minutes left in the quarter. Wempen against Thomas in the lane. Wempen, nothing home as he finds Cook. Cook backs up for a 3-point try. It's off the back of the cup, and Thomas flies in for the rebound again. 0 points tonight by Kane Cook, Lake Mills' leading scorer, but Lake Mills still leading 21-15 over Bishop Garrigan. Mahler feeds Thomas, working in the paint, finds Sink at the foul line. Sink trying to split defenders, nothing there. He'll kick it out to Mahler. Mahler to Sink again in the lane. Back out to Mahler. Mahler catches, releases, drills the 3-point shot. Golden Bears patiently work for that one. Down to a 3-point margin right now, 21-18. Mahler spotting up out there beyond the 3-point line. Now 2:22 left in the first half. Here's Gall dealing right side towards Wempen. Wempen, the 9-point per game scorer, comes over to the left to Cook. Pumps inside, works at corner to Howells. Mahler had the good closeout. 15 on the shot clock, 2:08 on the game clock. Jensen flings it outside towards Cook. Thought about pulling, but had the 6'6" Lear running out to contest that 3-point shot as Cook works his way in. Shovels out to Wempen. Wempen free off the heel. Long rebound, and Joyce chases it down in the corner. And now Joyce runs. The sophomore on the accelerator. Into the lane, sidestepping defenders. Scooping it up and in. Michael Joyce says, I'll do it myself. And it's 21-20. It's a 7-0 run right now by Bishop Garrigan. 1:40 left in the first half. Driving in his Gall, dealing outside. Wempen all by himself. 3-point shot, no good. Long rebound, though, out to Cook. Cook down the lane, goes right into Lear. Bangs it off the glass, no good. Fight for the rebound and a foul on the play. Foul against Lake Mills as they point at Jeremiah Jensen laying on the floor. And that's foul number 5 against Lake Mills. Lear may have banged his head on the ground as he was a little slow getting up. He's actually going to his eye right now. Might have gotten poked in the eye in that play instead. And so he'll get looked at on the bench right now for Bishop Garrigan. And when he gets done being looked at, Bishop Garrigan is going to shoot 2 free throws because the Golden Bears are now in the bonus. But I think Lear has to shoot those free throws because I believe he was the one they fouled. Well, the officials and the Bishop Garrigan coaches will figure that out as Lear is taking a break here while his eye got poked. 1:30 left in half number 1. Well, Lake Mills has been in control in the first half. They have led just about the entire way. But Bishop Garrigan has fought back here at the end of the first half and now down by just 1 point. On the floor right now for Bishop Garrigan, Mahler, Thomas, Schwab, Furch, and Sink. And now the referee's talking to the Lake Mills bench. They're saying doesn't Lear shoot those free throws here, but with the injury here, it's going to be Carter Schwab heading to the free throw line for a couple of shots. Schwab had 15 points last time these two teams matched up. Comes in tonight averaging 15 per game. And about 5 assists and 5 rebounds as well, as Schwab knocks down the first free throw, and we are locked up. Brand new game at 21 apiece. Lake Mills has controlled Schwab and Joyce, but Garrigan has spread the scoring around so far in this game, and really, the defense has been the #1 factor on both sides, as Schwab gives Bishop Garrigan the lead with 2 for 2 at the free throw line. 5 points by Schwab, 90 seconds left in the first half, and Lake Mills trying to retake the lead. Bishop Garrigan in front for the first time tonight, 22-21. Gall on the left wing as Sink is in front of him in defense. Here's the drive by Gall, trying to pass onto the right elbow, but Gall got pushed and fouled. Just the first foul by Bishop Garrigan of this quarter. Lear will get ready to enter back. Or no, check that. Thought he was going to the scoring table, but Lear's going to head to the locker room early here and just go in at halftime and get that eye taken care of. Ball's inbounded to Helgren for Lake Mills. Around to left to Howell, now into the corner to Jensen, to Wempen that is. Now up top towards Gall. 1:07 left in the first half. Helgren goes to Cook, being poked at by Sink with 1 minute left in the quarter. Now it's Howell, top of the arc. He'll find Gall. Gall on the wing, a catch and shoot 3. It's off the back of the cup. Flying in for the rebound though. Offensive board for Wempen. Wempen fades back. His jumper no good, and Mahler snatches down the rebound. Now Schwab runs. A behind the back dribble. A pass to Furch in the corner. Nothing home, and will get it out to Schwab with 44 seconds left. 15-second difference, game and shot clock right now. Sink on the elbow, drives in, Sink runner, up and good! A soft right-handed touch by Trayton Sink. 24-21 Bishop Garrigan. Shot clock and game clock now even. 30 seconds left in the half. In the lane, Gall. Gall, early jump shot, no good. The rebound got ripped away by Helgland. And Thomas trying to steal it back, but it's a foul on Thomas. Thomas can't believe it. He looks towards the Garrigan bench and says, I didn't foul him. He wanted the jump ball, but it'll be a foul on Thomas, his first personal, and the second on Bishop Garrigan. Shot clock is now off. Lake Mills can work for the final shot if they want it. As Sink checks out, Joyce checks in. Gall will be the inbounder right now. Bishop Garrigan 24, Lake Mills 21. A 10-0 run by Bishop Garrigan right now. Howell over to the right to Gall. 17 on the game clock and running. He'll go left wing to Wempen, as Thomas has the high hand in front of him. Cook now 10 on the shot clock. On the game clock, that is. Over towards Helgland. Helgland, 15-footer, swishes it. 4 seconds left. Schwab inbounds to Thomas. Gives it right back to Schwab. Full head of steam to half court. Lets it rip. Got the shot off, but it's off glass. No good. And the first half is over. A hard-fought, defense-oriented first half. Bishop Garrigan grinds out a 24-23 lead over Lake Mills as we head to halftime on Home Country Radio KLGZ and at the Algona Radio YouTube live stream.
Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game on Hometown Home Country Radio.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
Dump It, Kasuth County's local and reliable waste service provider for commercial and residential customers.
Albert Electric, flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants where everyone counts.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All bringing you this game on the radio. When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at MoneyPass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
We've got more sports club members making this broadcast possible on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Algona Frame and Auto Body. We meet by accident.
Water Connection, from softeners to bottled water and service. Call 295-SOFT.
Algona Pizza Ranch. There's so much to love.
Cotton Grave Farm Management and Land Realty, downtown Algona. Trusted for farmland service needs since 1960.
Algona Livestock. Sales every Monday.
Countryside Barbecue Sauce. 2 sauces for all seasons.
All bringing you this broadcast on the radio. For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa bone, joint, and sports surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
Halftime right now at Bishop Garrigan High School as the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears lead the Lake Mills Bulldogs 24-23 on Home Country Radio and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream. Joining us right now to recap the girls' basketball game is Bishop Garrigan's Carly Nielsen. Carly, first of all, we appreciate your time today at halftime. Let's talk about what you guys did to prepare for tonight's game, because obviously you haven't had a whole lot of practices as of late. These weeks of 3 games, and then you kind of had a 4-day weekend here to prepare for this one. So what was the focus for the team coming into tonight's game?
We spent Sunday and Monday working hard in practices, but obviously we didn't execute as we pictured, but they put up a good fight.
And Carly, like you said, it was kind of a grinded out, low-scoring kind of game. Maybe the offense wasn't quite where it was the past few games, but you guys got the 10-point win in this one. What did you feel like Mills did to make things tough on you guys defensively?
They really came up on the offensive boards on our side, and we weren't executing them as we should have, but they were really a lot more aggressive than we pictured them to be.
Well, Carly, the defense goes both ways. You guys played a good defensive game as well in this one as you held Lake Mills to 37 points. What was working for you guys on the defensive side of the ball?
Being strong, getting back on our defense when they were running up the floor. That's what was the main point.
And Carly, take me into that physical battle underneath, because like you said, Lake Mills, they were a little bit more stronger, a little bit more physical than expected, so things got a little rough there in the paint. Just take me into what that was like tonight.
You know, they have a lot of height. They have 4 big girls out there that's strong to go against, but we've got most of the 50-50 battles, I'd say.
And Carly, what do you feel it says about your team to kind of win in different ways? Because obviously we've seen the Golden Bears win these high-flying, high-scoring kind of games where the three-point shooting's really there, but it's important to be able to win, you know, a lower-scoring game like this where maybe the shots aren't dropping as usual. So I guess, what do you feel it says about the team that you've kind of been able to win games in a different variety of ways this season?
Whoever's hot, we give them the ball. Our team's main focus is we don't have one leading scorer every night. It's really spread around who's there. So I'd say, like, whoever's hot, we need to feed them the ball a lot.
Absolutely. Well, Carly, congratulations on the win, and thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.
That's Bishop Garrigan's Carly Nielsen joining us on Home Country Radio KLGZ as the Bishop Garrigan Golden Bears defeat the Lake Mills Bulldogs tonight by a final count of 47-37 in this one. Golden Bears with the win pick up their 13th victory of the season. Right now joining us is Bishop Garrigan head coach Brandon Schwab, also recapping the girls' game. Well, Coach, it was a grinded out kind of night as you guys got the 47-37 win over Lake Mills, and I'll kind of start in the same spot I started with Carly. You know, Lake Mills made things a little tough on you guys defensively. What did you feel they did tonight?
Well, it was a combination of, I thought their zone shifted well, and I just didn't think we moved the ball well and played very well offensively tonight. I felt the ball stuck. I don't think we got, you know, in the first half we hit 3 or 4 threes, and all of them came from inside back kicked out, and we just never got in a rhythm offensively tonight. I can't answer what reason that is, but we kind of stunk it up on the offensive end tonight.
Well, Coach, one of those nights offensively, but on the defensive side of the basketball, you guys held Cora Sauer below her season average, and Lake Mills, they didn't shoot the ball great either. So defensively, what was the focus of tonight's game, and how did you feel the team executed it?
Well, obviously, Cora was a big part of our defensive game plan, and she got loose on us a few times and hit a couple deep shots, you know, that we just, I mean, against a player like that, you can't take a second off, or she's going to hit it, you know, and I mean, I thought for the most part defensively we were pretty good tonight, or not good but solid, you know, throughout the night. We made things tough on them. Offensively, we just need to get the ball moving better, and so back to practice tomorrow and see if we can make some improvements before Thursday.
Well, absolutely. And, Coach, you know, last time against Lake Mills, it felt like you guys were able to turn up the speed on them a lot, force a lot of turnovers. Tonight, felt like the turnovers weren't quite there as much. You know, I guess defensively, as far as pressure is concerned, you know, is that something you focus on turning up as you go forward, or how do you sort of look at that?
Well, I mean, they just, frankly, did a better job breaking the press than they did the first time. You know, the first time they panicked, they got in it, they picked their dribble up. I mean, they did a much better job tonight. So, I mean, that's credit to them. And, you know, I don't know for some reason, we just looked tired all game long. We just didn't look like we had our normal energy tonight. So hopefully we get back in practice tomorrow and have a little more energy come Thursday.
Well, Coach, as we wrap up here, I can't, you know, let you go here without mentioning win number 300 as you pick that up tonight. What was the meaning of that, or the significance that, you know, to be able to be down there on the floor celebrating for your team after win number 300?
Well, you know, it's because of all them girls and, you know, all the previous ones that I've been lucky enough to coach. You know, I've had so many good players. You don't get 300 wins without a lot of good players, and I've had a lot of good players throughout the years. And, you know, they had a video in the locker room of a lot of ex-players, you know, congrats hats and stuff, and that meant a lot. Seeing a lot of them faces that we're all a part of that win. I'm blessed enough to be able to be a part of a program that kids put in a lot of time. They care about basketball, and I'm just lucky enough to be the guy on the bench with it.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the win tonight, and thank you for stopping by.
Thank you.
That's Bishop Garrigan basketball coach Brandon Schwab here on Home Country Radio KLGZ. When we come back, boys second half after these messages.
Thank you to these Sports Club members bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Good Samaritan Society, Algona's senior housing and services rooted in God's love.
Feed Mill Coffee Company, Algona's locally owned coffee shop.
Tangle Salon for all your cuts, colors, hair extensions, and massage therapy needs.
Schindler Lawn Care and Landscaping, 515-320-3840.
All bringing you this ball game.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Bacon at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs. We're locally owned and operated, which means family, community, and service always comes first. So come to Security State Bank. We'll treat you like family. Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Central Financial Group, where you belong.
Down to Earth Tree Service, your local Algona Tree Service.
Style Salon, your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Farm and Home Services. View their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic, animals large and small. They love them all.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
All bringing you this ball game.
Getting ready for the second half of basketball action from Bishop Garrigan High School. In a game between the two top offenses at the top of Iowa West, it's been defense winning the night so far. Bishop Garrigan 24, Lake Mills 23 as we get in the second half. Lake Mills really controlled most of that first half as they led for much of the way, but Bishop Garrigan fought back late. They ended the first half on a scoring run of 10-2, and right now the Golden Bears have the advantage 24-23. Lake Mills outscored Bishop Garrigan 16-11 in the first, but Bishop Garrigan outscored Lake Mills 13-7 in the second, and both these teams know the importance and the significance of tonight's game. A lot of conference implications in this one. Two of the top teams in the top of Iowa West right now, alongside of Forest City, who tonight is playing against North Union. So it's going to be a big one here to see how the second half goes and see which team can get hot offensively first. For Lake Mills, Keaton Wempen and Lucas Helgland have led the way with 8 points apiece. Bishop Garrigan has gotten 5 points by Michael Joyce, by Carter Schwab, and by Amari Thomas to spread the scoring around. But both sides, not a lot of offense to be generated so far in tonight's game as the Golden Bears and Bulldogs get ready to begin the second half here from Bishop Garrigan High School. Lake Mills wears the purple uniforms, Bishop Garrigan in the white as we roll here in half number 2. Inbounding the ball for Lake Mills is going to be Jensen, as Lake Mills will have the possession here. Lake Mills aiming towards the bucket on the left side. Wempen gets it up to the top towards Cook. Cook pivots around towards the right to Gall. Gall out on the wing, guarded by Furch. Gets it back to the top of the key to Helgland, who had 8 points in the first half. Now onto the wing to Cook. Lake Mills having rather patient possession here as holding the ball right now, working it over to the left is Jensen as he'll find Cook, 10 on the shot clock. Over to the right to Gall. Gall driving down the lane. Gall fading back for a jumper. Missed it right, and Schwab flies in to snatch the rebound for Bishop Garrigan. 24-23 Golden Bears. Schwab hands the ball off to Furch. Bishop Garrigan trailed at the end of one, but got out to a 1-point lead at halftime as Joyce is right in the paint. Turns around for a mid-range shot. It's off the heel. Thomas taps the rebound out, and Furch is able to collect it. Gives it right back to Thomas. Thomas against Cook. Off glass, and he scores it. That's money for Bishop Garrigan. They got the 6'3 Thomas matched up against the 5'11 Cook, and it's 26-23 Golden Bears. Cook was held to 0 points in the first half for Lake Mills. The leading scorer on the season, but other guys stepped up. Right now, Bishop Garrigan leads by 3. Here's Gall. Looking to the rolling Jensen, passes over his head. Bishop Garrigan takes it, and there's a foul by Lake Mills. That pass is a little bit over the head and a little bit behind Jensen as well. As the turnover comes here with 6:50 on the clock in the third quarter. And the foul by Lake Mills is the 4th personal foul against Jensen. And that's big for Lake Mills. Jensen has been tasked with playing physically inside against Thomas all night long. And with that 4th personal foul, he's going to have to take a seat on the bench. The 6'4 senior Stephen Howell checks into the ballgame, but does not quite have the same amount of strength as Jensen does to go up against Thomas, so we'll see how this matchup plays out for Lake Mills. Furch gives to Schwab, top of the arc. He pumps, he looks over to the left towards Sink. Towards Furch, that is. Now back to Schwab, top of the arc. He'll let it fly, and he'll rattle in the three-point shot. 29-23, Bishop Garrigan, their largest lead of the night so far. Give Schwab 8 points. Exploding down the lane, getting to the rack, missing the layup is Gall. Had to angle a little bit out to the right at the last minute as Schwab comes the other way. Schwab to Joyce, pass is thrown out of bounds, last tapped out by Gall. And Bishop Garrigan will keep possession. It'll be Schwab inbounding from the far side of the court. Schwab looking and getting it into Furch. 6:15 and rolling here in the third quarter. Furch looking at the top of the arc to Schwab, who's guarded by Helgen right now. Now over to Joyce. Joyce into the lane to Lear, got deep in the post. Lear powers it up. He drew the foul, he put it down. Nick Lear goes beast mode on that play, and Bishop Garrigan leads 31-23. He got the great position down on the post, and that's what you have to do if you're Bishop Garrigan. Continue to look inside, attack, see if you can get Lake Mills in even more foul trouble here in the third quarter and really try to work that advantage of Jensen on the bench. Lear at the free throw stripe, a 42% free throw shooter, averaging 7.5 points per game. Free throw off the back iron, and sailing in for the rebound is Helgen for Lake Mills. Into the front court, it'll be Helgen bringing it himself, wearing the black headband and driving left of the lane. He turns, he rises for a jumper over Schwab, no good, and the rebound of Joyce. Schwab did a good job of staying in front when Helgen threw that flurry of moves at him. Joyce pulls up, thought about pulling for free, got it to Schwab, contested free from the left wing, no, got his own miss back, follows, got to the rack and scored it. No one touched Carter Schwab on that rebound or that layup, and Bishop Garrigan has a double-digit lead, 33-23. Gall trying to generate offense for Lake Mills. Gall shovels it into the corner to Wempen, and a traveling violation on Wempen. Wempen bemused by that call, but Bishop Garrigan gets the ball back off a turnover of 5:31 on the clock. This Golden Bear offense, number 1 in the conference in points per game, shooting percentage, and three-point percentage. Leading by 10 right now over Lake Mills as the offense is just starting to get clicking here in the second half. Thomas pops out to the top of the key, feeds Joyce right side, now down to the corner to Furch, into Lear, now back out to Furch, lets it rip for Trey, and he buries it! Tate Furch in the right corner, his first free of the night, and the Golden Bears are opening it up, 36-23. Howell finds Helgen in the lane, Helgen nothing there, gets it over to Wempen. Wempen drives, pivots right, kicks corner to Gall, rotates around to Cook, trying to shake loose, he's driving, he's pumping, nothing there as Golden Bears are playing great lockdown defense on him. Back outside to Gall, sets himself for a three-pointer. No good off the back of the cup. Thomas there for the rebound, and the Golden Bears will run. Here's Schwab. It's a 2-on-3. Schwab deals corner to Joyce. Head fakes. Trying to work in against Cook. Into the paint. Turns around. Mid-range jumper. Swishes it. The Golden Bears are creating an avalanche here in the third quarter. It's 38-23. A big-time run by the Golden Bears. 13-0 to begin the quarter, and now 14-0 as the three-point shot no good for Howell. Outlet pass to Schwab, trying to catch up to it. Schwab deflected it off the foot of Helgen out of bounds, and Bishop Garrigan will keep it. So 14 straight points to start the quarter by Bishop Garrigan. The jump shooting's getting hot right now, and Bishop Garrigan doing a good job of working the ball inside out. Got that kick to Furch in the corner on the last three. Now Joyce, he'll try three. Left it short. They finally missed one. Offensive board by Lear, but it was a foul. And who was that on? They're going to say that was on Nick Lear, his second personal, trying to collect that rebound. So that will briefly stop the momentum for the Golden Bears, but that is one thing that differentiates this Bishop Garrigan team from years past. More outside shooting. They can go on these more extended scoring runs when they get in these hot shooting streaks, and all of a sudden, Lake Mills has led most of this game, but you blink and Bishop Garrigan's up 38-23 here in the third quarter. Now Lake Mills will try to get Cook loose for a three-point try, and the ball in and out, no good. Oh, the rim ejected that ball after it went halfway down, and it's been that kind of second half so far for Lake Mills. Furch trying to feed Lear inside. He got bumped, but got it back out to Furch. In the lane, Furch turns towards his right. Deals to Joyce on the wing. Joyce driving in. Joyce banks it off the glass and scores. The runner by Michael Joyce, and the Bishop Garrigan barrage continues. 40-23 right now. Give Joyce 9 points. Gall infiltrating the lane, finger rolling and scoring. Gall got all the way to the cup. Nobody stopped the basketball for Bishop Garrigan that time. You're so focused on what Gall can do as a passer, sometimes you got to remember he can drive in as well. Thomas into the corner to Joyce, works the baseline. Joyce sidestepped by Wempen and missed on the layup. Thomas cleanup. Thomas put back and foul. Chance for a three-point play by Bishop Garrigan as Amari Thomas going to work on the glass once again. 42-25. Well, Bishop Garrigan scored the first 16 points of the second half. Lake Mills answered, but Thomas gets right back to action. He's already up to 9 points as he's averaging 12.5 points per game. Just under 10.5 rebounds and shooting 71% from the free throw stripe. Thomas's free throw goes right down the drain to make it 43-25. Well, this is very reminiscent of what Lake Mills used to do to Bishop Garrigan over the past few years. A close first half, and then Lake Mills would blow it open in the second half in the past, but Garrigan has played the reverse card on Lake Mills this year as Gall spins to the right and got the layup. That was the problem during that 11-game losing streak against Lake Mills. Bishop Garrigan could play 2, even 3 good quarters against the Bulldogs, but never quite put together 4 quarters to defeat Lake Mills. Tonight, off to a slow start with the Golden Bears, but now an explosive third quarter as they lead 43-27, 3 minutes left in the period. Schwab gives the ball to Furch, now onto the elbow of the Lear, looks underneath Thomas, makes a great catch. Ball got stripped away, though. Thomas made a one-handed grab, snatching that ball out of the sky like he was Odell Beckham down there, but ball got peeled away by Lake Mills. In the lane, hook shot up and good by Jensen. Now Jensen's playing with 4 fouls. Lake Mills can feel this game getting away, and they know they need Jensen in there. So we'll see if Bishop Garrigan tries to go after him. 43-29 Golden Bears, 2:33 left in the third quarter. Joyce finds Schwab to Lear on the elbow, right side, now out to Furch. Couple of dribbles towards the right, deals to Schwab. Schwab feeding Thomas. Thomas quick pass out to Furch. Head fakes, enters the paint, turns around and shovels it to Lear. Lear back outside to Joyce. 8 on the shot clock. Joyce to the foul line, backing his way in. Joyce drives, took a wide angle, spun it up. He put it down. He drew the foul. Michael Joyce with a chance for a 3-point play. How did he maneuver that ball into the basket? That ball looked like it had no chance would have left Joyce's hand. I don't even think he saw the rim or the backboard that time. He just slung it up there, it spun in, and Lake Mills fouled him. Joyce with a chance for a 3-point play on an unbelievable basket. Give number 11 points so far. Joyce 60% from the foul line. Left that free throw short. Ball tapped around, but it goes right to Joyce off of 2 deflections. Foul line jumper, no, off the back of the cup. Thomas rebound, and he draws the foul. Amari Thomas going beast mode in the lane with another offensive board. And Bishop Garrigan all of a sudden starting the wear on Lake Mills. Thomas to the free throw stripe once again. That's 5 fouls on Lake Mills, and personal foul number 2 against Wempen. Golden Bears number 4 in the conference. Free throw shooting percentage at 59%. Thomas knocks down the foul shot to make it 46-29. Just like we called for in the pregame, balanced by the Golden Bears. 11 points by Thomas, 11 by Joyce, and 10 by Schwab so far in this game to lead the way. Another free throw for Thomas and another make. Nothing but net, and it's 47-29 Bishop Garrigan. Golden Bears, folks, they were up by 1 coming into halftime if you just tuned in. Here's the drive by Gall, penetrating inside. He put the ball in, but they wave the shot off. They say the foul occurred before the shot, and they don't give him the continuation either, much to the dismay of the Lake Mills bench and to Jackson Gall himself. While the foul gets awarded here to Sink, that'll be his second personal. Lake Mills lobs it into Helgland. Now it's Jensen 1 step right of center. Whips it over to Gall. Catch and shoot on the 3. Rims out, and Mahler rebounds in a heavy traffic paint area, that is. 1:47 left in the third quarter. Joyce top of the arc, gets it over to Schwab. Now in the post to Thomas. Thomas going to work, finds Mahler on the wing. Catch and shoot 3. That ball rolls off the cup as Thomas make that Mahler line drive that a little bit. And we're down to 1:35 left in the third quarter as Lake Mills controls the basketball. Gall entering the lane. Gall going right into the body of Sink, put it up and in. Gall did a good job of working his way patiently into the lane and exploding up for the 2 to make it 47-31. Joyce 1 step inside of half court, guarded by Gall all the way out there. Gets it left wing to Sink, now to Thomas at the foul line. Right back to Sink, into Mahler. Mahler in traffic, feeds Thomas, rolling to the bucket. Thomas pumps, he put it in, he drew the foul again. Keep feeding Amari Thomas. He's a beast, ladies and gents. 14 points, 49-31 Golden Bears, and the fouls continue to pile up for Lake Mills. What a great find that time by Drew Mahler. You knew he had 2 defenders on him. Someone's open somewhere. You know Thomas is going to roll to the bucket at all times, and Mahler for a great find. That's foul number 3 against Wempen. Timeout called on the floor. All Bishop Garrigan here in the third quarter. 49-31 right now as the timeout is taken here with just under about a minute left in quarter number 3. Well, point-wise, Thomas is piling it up. 14 so far tonight. Drawing a lot of fouls here in the second half as well. Bishop Garrigan try to get the ball inside a little bit in the first half, but they weren't moving quite as crisply on offense, not moving the ball as well, not moving as fast. But here in the third quarter, they're getting out, they're running and gunning in transition, they're moving the ball fluently on offense, and they are feeding the ball inside, knowing that Lake Mills is in a lot of foul trouble at this point. And Bishop Garrigan is pressing that advantage big time here in the third quarter. 1:09 left in the third as Thomas is going to shoot a couple of free throws. Now can Lake Mills get back on track? Lake Mills makes their money by being a good 3-point shooting team. They've shot over 32% on three-point balls this year, number 2 in the conference in percentage to Bishop Garrigan, but they're uncorking 27 threes per game. So when Lake Mills is good, it's because they're reining in the threes from downtown. But the Golden Bears have shut off that three-point arc, and they have forced Lake Mills into a paint area where Bishop Garrigan has the size advantage. Thomas, another made free throw. 50-31 Golden Bears. Bishop Garrigan had 24 points in the first half. They have 26 points in the third quarter alone. 50-31 right now. This has been about as dominant of quarter as you could get against a good team like Lake Mills, a Bulldog team that came into tonight with a 9-3 record and played Bishop Garrigan very tough the first time around. Into the lane, Mahler for the knockaway. Here comes Furch running the floor. Furch into the lane. He sidesteps and he missed everything on that finger roll. Nice move by Furch, but couldn't get the finish that time with 50 seconds left in the quarter. Here's Cook going to work with a flurry of moves. He drives inside. He draws the foul. And he puts it in. Kane Cook will briefly stem a little of this tide with a chance for a three-point play, and he gets his first points of the night. Cook with a rare drive to the bucket. Almost 70% of his shot attempts this year have come from three-point land, but nothing available out beyond that three-point arc so far tonight, so he drives in. Chance for a three-point play here as he shoots 62.5% from the line this season. Cook free throw, and that one is good. His first 3 points of the night. Coming the old-fashioned way this time, so it's 50-34 Golden Bears. Corbin Obley, the 6'1 sophomore, enters the ball game. Jackson Gall checks out for Lake Mills in the final 45 seconds of this quarter. Lake Mills also brings, or check that, Gall into the ball game. They also have Howland as well. Muller from the lane, no. Lear skies over everyone for the rebound. Lear turns, can't put it back in though, and it'll be a rebound by Kane Cook for Lake Mills. Shot clock off, game clock down to 28 seconds. Lake Mills trying to generate one more good shot here before the end of the quarter. The floor is spread out. 21 seconds left as Gall is burning a little bit of clock, guarded by Joyce right now. Final 16 seconds now as Gall dribbles just inside of half court. Joyce creeps up to defend. Coming over to screen is Obley. Now it's Gall. Gall working the dribble, spinning across the foul line. Joyce staying in front. Gall, tough one-legged J, and the ball deflects, and it drops off the cup, no good. Mahler rebound. Mahler, half-court heave, and that one is no good. He missed it wide left, and the third quarter is over. But a dominant third quarter by the Golden Bears. They unlock the offense, and they dominate Lake Mills in the third. Our score right now, 50-34, as Bishop Garrigan leads heading to the fourth on KLGZ 98.5 FM and AM 1600.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Signworks Inc. For all your signage needs and printed apparel, stop in or call 295-9544.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
All sponsors of this game broadcast. Thank you to these sports club members bringing you this game on Hometown Home Country Radio.
CB Grain Solutions, satisfaction guaranteed.
Dump It, Kasuth County's local and reliable waste service provider for commercial and residential customers.
Albert Electric, flip the switch to Albert Electric.
Billy Offerman, your State Farm agent in Algona. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Greg Penning and Company, certified public accountants where everyone counts.
Daylight Donuts, open early with delicious donuts and great coffee.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Bishop Garrigan dominates the third quarter. They outscored Lake Mills 26-11 in that period, and right now the score 50-34. Joyce feeds the cutting sink as the bucket is towards the right. Garrigan has the ball out top to Schwab, lets it fly. Ball rims out. Thought about going down there, but Cook tracks down the rebound for Lake Mills. And now Lake Mills needs offense in a hurry. Driving into the lane is Helgland, tries to go up and under. Schwab stays in front, but Helgland knocks down the jumper from the center of the paint. He's had a good game so far of 10 points. As the score right now, 50-36, Bishop Garrigan. Golden Bears, excellent shooting third quarter, very physical third quarter as well. They bounce it out both ways. Sink, looking into Mahler in the post on the right block. Gets it out to Schwab. Schwab taking it right down Main Street. Got blocked on that play. Clean deflection by Lake Mills. Now it's Gall the other direction. Gall tried to sidestep Joyce. Joyce stayed in front. Gall laid it in anyways. Just what Lake Mills ordered, a quick 4 points, and the score right now 50-38. At the pace Lake Mills plays, this game is certainly not over here if the Golden Bears can't get the offense back on track like they did in the third. Here's Sink jumping inside, and that's going to be a travel. Sink went flying in, he landed, and that was clear to all the officials on the floor as well as all the officials in the stands as well. Back into the ball game for Bishop Garrigan, Amari Thomas, who has scored 15 points so far tonight. Leading scorer on either side. 12-point Bishop Garrigan advantage as Lake Mills try to go on a run here to start off the fourth quarter, much like Bishop Garrigan started the third quarter of 16 straight. Cook works his way inside. He put the ball in, but he foul called on Thomas before the layup by Cook. That was on the floor and not an active shooting as Cook didn't get the continuation. There have been a couple of buckets snapped by Lake Mills where they've been campaigning for the continuation and haven't gotten it from the officials. Thomas's second personal foul. First on Bishop Garrigan. Gall gets it into Helgen outside the perimeter. Now it's Obley. Back over to the right to Gall, who has 12 points tonight. Comes left to Howell, one step left to center. Now flings it over onto the right wing, side to Cook. Cook gets it left to Helgen. Helgen elevates for a three, and that ball's a little short, and Thomas flies in for another rebound, and Thomas fouled on that rebound as well. Looked like Obley got his hand underneath the arm of Thomas and tried to get it out, but had plenty of arm that time for the foul. Lake Mills is first. Wempen back into the ball game as he will replace Obley on the floor right now for the Bulldogs. Wempen tonight, 10 points for Lake Mills, came in averaging 9. As Schwab blew a tire as he tried to go behind the back. Lake Mills will have a wide open run to the bucket, and Gall lays it in. First 6 points of the quarter go to Lake Mills. Schwab saw the defense coming and got tripped up that time. 50-40 right now. Lake Mills starting the third quarter, make this the fourth quarter exactly how they wanted it to. 2 minutes gone. Bishop Garrigan looking for their first bucket here in quarter number 4 as Joyce is deep on the right side wing right now. Dribbles around to the left and finds Mahler. Mahler lobs inside to Lear. It's off the rim, no good. And a 5:52 on the clock. Lake Mills have the ball back. I thought he was passing to Lear, but that might have been a shot attempt. Cook drives inside. Cook banks and Cook scores. Lake Mills is tearing a page out of Bishop Garrigan's book and getting inside. And just like that, it's an 8-point game. This is the veteran Lake Mills coached team of Kyle Mankey at the helm, and their team that is not going to go away easily. Joyce, 3-point try, left it short, rebounded by Gall, and here come the Bulldogs. Gall into the forecourt, Gall down the lane, deals corner to Cook, wide open three, he knocks it down! He knocks it down! 50-45, a huge run here by Lake Mills to start the quarter. 11 straight points, 5-point game, and much like against Newman Catholic on Thursday night, Bishop Garrigan has cracked open the door here in the fourth quarter to the opposing team. Lake Mills has made some big-time plays and forced their way back into it. They have kicked the door down here in the fourth. Schwab on the right wing. Golden Bears have to get moving on offense. Into Lear. Lear backing his way in. Lear center of the lane. Lear off glass. No. Ball tapped around. Almost got tapped back in by Wempen for Lake Mills. They almost had an own bucket there, but Lake Mills controls the rebound. Outside the arc right now, it's Howell. Now he'll find Gall. Gall down the lane, hits the spin move. Gall rises for a tough shot. In and out, no good. The rim spit that right-hander right back out, and Mahler controls the rebound for Bishop Garrigan. 5-point game. What looked like a Garrigan runaway has gotten a little bit tense inside of the gym as the timeout's called by Bishop Garrigan, and the Lake Mills part of the crowd will come to their feet. 4:32 left in the fourth quarter. Bishop Garrigan's, at one time, seemingly insurmountable lead has been cut down to 5 points. We'll take the timeout as well on KLGZ at 98.5 FM and AM 1600.
When you need cash on the go, there's no need to pay a surcharge fee with MoneyPass. Iowa State Bank is proud to be part of the MoneyPass network of surcharge-free ATMs found nationwide. Look for the green and blue MoneyPass symbol on over 32,000 ATMs across the nation. Or find an ATM near your vacation spot or travel destination at moneypass.com. MoneyPass, another way that Iowa State Bank helps people succeed. Member FDIC.
Thank you to these Sports Club members bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Good Samaritan Society, Algona's senior housing and services rooted in God's love.
Feed Mill Coffee Company, Algona's locally owned coffee shop.
Tangle Salon for all your cuts, colors, hair extensions, and massage therapy needs.
Schindler Lawn Care and Landscaping, 515-320-3840.
All bringing you this ball game.
Tension now palpable inside the Bishop Garrigan High School Gymnasium. Lake Mills has ripped off the first 11 points of the fourth quarter. Bishop Garrigan 50, Lake Mills 45, and the Golden Bear lead is all but evaporated. Now they need some offense. Bucket is towards the right. Lear in the high post, whips it corner pocket to Furch. Now to Lear in the lane, had to make a one-handed catch and come back outside to Furch. Furch towards the baseline. He turns around to find Schwab along the perimeter. 9 on the shot clock. Schwab down the lane. He bangs of Cook, and Schwab puts it up and in as Cook went flying down to the deck. Lake Mills fans wanted a foul, but they won't get it as Schwab buried the shoulder that time, and he got the 2. Coming the other way is Gall. He bangs of Thomas, and Gall draws the foul. That's got to be number 3 on Thomas, as he got Thomas caught in a position where his feet were moving. Didn't have a chance to get set there and draw the charge on Gall, as he will shoot a couple of free throws. For as good of a shooter as Gall is otherwise, he has really struggled at the foul line. 34% from the charity stripe this season. For reference, he's shooting 44% from the field this year, so he is certainly a good shooter for Lake Mills as he cues up the free throw. And he swishes it. Well, sometimes the toughest shots are these high-pressure free throws with the whole gym looking at you, and a close game like this, 52-46, as Bishop Garrigan leads Lake Mills. But Lake Mills is trying to roar back here in the fourth quarter. Free throw by Gall, and that one rattles and drops through. A couple big free throws for Jackson Gall give him 16 points tonight, and it's 52-47. Golden Bears are checking their rearview mirror very closely because the objects in it may be closer than they appear. Thomas infiltrates the lane, makes the great catch underneath, and he scores. You let Amari Thomas get that deep in the post, and it's an automatic 2. 54-47. Helgeland up top, Helgeland right of the paint. He spins, Swab stays in front, and the ball goes out towards the left wing towards Gall. Coach Menke telling Lake Mills to get moving here. Pass into the corner to Helgeland. Extra feet over to Wempen. He pumps. Thomas stays in front and comes out to Jensen. Hands it off to Gall. Gall from way downtown. Left the free ball short. Ball pops loose, and Helgeland has the offensive board for Lake Mills. Now it's Cook into the corner to Wempen. Thought about pulling Thomas at the closeout. Wempen drives instead. Tough one-legged shot from the paint, and it goes down for Wempen. And Lake Mills wants a timeout. Back down to a 5-point margin. That's as close as Lake Mills has gotten here in the fourth. 54-49 Bishop Garrigan with 3:14 left on KLGZ and at the Algona Radio YouTube channel.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Signworks Inc. For all your signage needs and printed apparel, stop in or call 295-9544.
New Way K&H Co-op, delivering exceptional value through knowledge and innovation.
West Bend Ford, meeting your service, new and used vehicle needs.
Tom Eischen Sales, your store in the country, carrying Steel and Toro products and Green Mountain pellet grills.
PMC Advantage Insurance Services, insuring our neighbors for over 80 years.
All sponsors of this game broadcast.
And we get rolling once again in the fourth quarter. Bishop Garrigan 54, Lake Mills 49. The Bulldogs charging hard here down the stretch as he approaches the 3-minute mark of quarter number 4. Bishop Garrigan has the ball. Furch feeding Thomas. Thomas double teamed in the post. He'll kick it out to Furch. Furch wants to drive baseline, jumps, passes to Thomas. Ball gets fumbled around, and it's taken away. Wempen rips it out for Lake Mills. Well, it's a sparse crowd here tonight, but the fans who are here are really into this ball game on a cold Tuesday evening. Gary the Bears into it as well. The two-team bench is watching intently, and hopefully everyone on the Algona Radio YouTube stream watching closely as well. The officials call for a timeout, and they say the ball needs to be wiped down. So Coach Roger Freilich comes off the bench and delivers the towel to the official. That's the only disruption that can be permitted here in the fourth quarter because of 2:46 left. Does Lake Mills have time to get over the top? Bishop Garrigan was in a very similar spot Thursday night against Newman Catholic in that 66-58 victory. Golden Bears led by 19 in that game at one point. Newman worked back into it. Got it down to 4 or 5 in the fourth quarter at one point, but couldn't get over the top. And now with 2:46 left, there certainly is still time for Lake Mills, but they need plenty of stops here and just a few buckets. I'll tell you this, a bucket on this possession, and all of a sudden, this game feels different. This is a massive possession for Lake Mills. They could get it down to a 1-score game here if they're able to put it in a bucket, a 2 or a 3 this possession. Wempen around to the right to Cook. Cook driving, Cook fading back. He's double teamed and he'll bounce it up top to Wempen. Has Thomas in front of him. 10 on the shot clock. Now it's Gall. Gall, one dribble towards the right. He works against Joyce. He rises. That's a tough jump shot on the way. It bounces off the rim, and Thomas is there to secure the rebound and put it in his back pocket. Now it'll be Schwab with a little more deliberation into the front court for Bishop Garrigan. Golden Bears have Thomas set up in the high post on the right elbow. Out to Furch, left corner. Furch down the lane. Furch jumper is good. What an important shot that is for Tate Furch. Not afraid of big moments, and it's 56-49, and Lake Mills wants another timeout. Well, these two teams saved a lot of timeouts here for down the stretch. We'll keep it right here as Lake Mills takes the timeout with 2:01 remaining and a 56-49 Bishop Garrigan lead. While we have this break in the action, we'll take this time to thank our video streaming sponsors here on the Algona Radio YouTube channel, making these broadcasts possible. They include Algona Municipal Utilities, community-owned for community benefit; Kemna Auto Center, where it's not just about the car, it's about the care; Iowa State Bank, helping people succeed; Algona Frame and Auto Body, we meet by accident; and PMC Advantage Insurance Services, having the advantage makes all the difference. It's Thomas with 17 points to lead the way for Bishop Garrigan, Gall with 16 to lead Lake Mills, and it's a 56-49 Bishop Garrigan lead here in the fourth quarter. Well, Golden Bears outscored the Bulldogs 26-11 in the third. They built up a lot of capital with that third quarter, and much like against Newman Catholic, at one point had that lead up to 19 points, saw it trimmed down to as few as 5 here in the fourth, and now trying to hold on and close this one out. But it was a good possession last time on offense, a patient possession by the Golden Bears, and now they keep the pressure on Lake Mills. Every made bucket, and the pressure just continues to mount on the Bulldogs, especially with time in Bishop Garrigan's favor at this point. So there's a lot of pressure on Lake Mills here to answer for bucket, make some shots, and find a way to get some stops on defense, especially with all the options Bishop Garrigan has. Foul-wise, after a foul-riddled first 3 quarters, this fourth quarter, very few fouls. Just 2 by Bishop Garrigan, just 1 by Lake Mills, so neither team anywhere close to the bonus at this point. As we're under 2 minutes left, Lake Mills ball out of the timeout, moving right to left on the radio dial. Gall on the wing with Joyce in front of him. Gall doesn't use the screen, he works into the paint instead. Gall backing, he fades, tough shot, no good, and Lear rips down the rebound. Gall's made some tough shots tonight, but Bishop Garrigan satisfied with that look. Down to 1:40 left, they'll chase Joyce all around the floor. Joyce runs away from the trap, he finds Thomas. Thomas out to Furch. They'll dare him to shoot, but Furch says, I'm gonna run some clock instead. Out to Schwab, now elbow to Lear. 17 on the shot clock, 1:28 on the game clock. Golden Bears patiently working the ball here. They don't want to shoot it too early, up by 7. Schwab with 10 on the shot clock, working his way in. Players crash to the ground, and that time it'll be an offensive foul on Schwab. They'll say Schwab initiated the contact of Keaton Wempen that time. Wempen wanted a charge on Schwab earlier in this quarter. That time he got the charge he wanted. Second personal foul on Schwab. And Lake Mills will have it with 1:20 left. Even though no points on that possession, Bishop Garrigan did run a healthy amount of clock, as the Lake Mills Bulldogs now desperately need a bucket. Wempen on the left wing has Thomas guarding him, now over to the right towards Gall. Flings it over to the left to Cook. Cook got loose, his 3-point try, no good. Offensive board though by Jensen. Jensen finds Cook on the block, powers against Thomas, and a foul on the floor against Thomas. Thomas is saying, what did I do? But the officials say you made your foul, or you made your 4th foul of the night, and with 1 minute left, it's 56-49, and that's team foul 4 against Garrigan. So next foul will put Lake Mills in the bonus. Into the paint, Helgren shoots over Schwab, and he put it down. Lake Mills needed it. It's a 5-point game, 56-51. Golden Bears trying to sweep the Bulldogs, but it's not going to be easy. And it hasn't been easy up to this point. Final 49 seconds. Lake Mills will likely have to foul at some point. They get the ball to Thomas underneath. Thomas swarms in a double team. Thomas trying to pivot away, and a foul by Lake Mills. Lake Mills was going for the jump ball there, and they almost had it. Thomas had the ball exposed for just a second to Wempen. His eyes lit up like he was going to grab it, but Thomas was able to pivot away at the last minute. And a foul on Lake Mills. The problem, though, now is Lake Mills, you have individual players in foul trouble, as that was the 4th personal foul on Wempen. Jensen have also 4 personal fouls, but that was just the second team foul, so the other 3 guys are going to have to foul here like crazy to get Garrigan in the bonus. Pass to Leary, he jumped in, he caught it. Good job avoiding the steal by Garrigan. Now it's Joyce. Joyce will be fouled with 36 seconds left. You're getting close to the amount of time that you can't think about who's committing the foul if you're Lake Mills. And they may have to make some substitutions here to get the 4 foul players out of the ball game. Timeout by Lake Mills. 36 seconds left. Bishop Garrigan can smell the victory, but can they finish it? We'll find out next on KLGZ Home Country Radio.
More sports club members.
Lusher Family Dentistry, serving your family since 1965 on Call Street in Algona.
Algona Plumbing and Heating, where a good flush beats a full house.
Kasuth Regional Health Center, your home for healthcare.
Walker Chiropractic and Wellness, caring for Algona, Sway City, and surrounding areas with chiropractic, nutritional, and physical therapy services.
Reeves Wicked Good Bar and Grill. For wicked good food, drinks, and service, you gotta go to Reeves.
High Point Land Company, your trusted land partner in Algona.
All bringing you this game on the radio.
Bishop Garrigan putting their 5-game win streak on the line tonight, leading Lake Mills 56-51 as we approach the dying moments of the fourth quarter. This is the longest win streak for the Golden Bears since they won 13 in a row, leading to the 2020 state title game, and they looked like they were going to run away from Lake Mills in the second half. The Bulldogs, to their credit, fought back into this game with a great start to the fourth quarter. They scored the first 11 points of this period, and now Lake Mills will try for a steal against Bishop Garrigan. Shot clock and game clock are separated by 1 second. There's 36 on the game clock, and Bishop Garrigan has a fresh 35. 3 team fouls on Lake Mills. Ball ended up to Mahler, and Lake Mills must foul. They brought Corbin Obley into the ball game for that exact reason, as Obley is able to foul Mahler. Stephen Howell also in as well. He's got some fouls to give for Lake Mills. Lake Mills took Wempen and Jensen out. Those were the 2 of 4 personal fouls each. So anyone could foul here for Lake Mills. Next foul will be number 5. Schwab into Thomas, and they will wrap him up in the corner. In the past, Amari Thomas would be a guy that you'd go after the situation. You'd foul him because he had struggled at the free throw line last season, only shooting 47%, but it has been a totally different story this year. Thomas has turned into a great free throw shooter, over 71%, and he will shoot here to try to help Bishop Garrigan ice this win. You see Amari Thomas and Drew Mahler after games all the time, shooting around, working on those shots, but he left that free throw short, and Lake Mills has a pulse. It may be barely, but they do have a pulse, and now they can bring Jensen and Wempen back into the ballgame for offense. Obley and Howell go to the Pine. 5-point Bishop Garrigan advantage. Worst Thomas can do here is make this a 2-possession, 6-point game. Although you've got to watch for the Garrigan offensive board. They crash the glass so hard. Free throw by Thomas is good. 57-51 right now. 6-point game. Lake Mills is going to need a 3. Gall working around the perimeter towards the left, guarded by Joyce. Garrigan has taken away the 3-point line so well tonight. Hand up to Cook. Cook with 23 seconds. Nothing there. Ball got poked away. Cook got it back. 20 seconds. This is taking a long time. Cross-court feed to Gall. Cook found him. Gall free. No good. Thomas brings down the rebound. 14 seconds left, and Drew Mahler is fouled. Thomas handed it off to Mahler. Fouls committed with 13 seconds left in the ball game. Kane Cook made an unbelievable pass. Garrigan was blanketing him, not letting him get loose. He threw it all the way cross-court into the corner, found a wide-open Jackson Gall, but the free ball didn't land, and now Bishop Garrigan can put this one away at the free throw line if Mahler is able to cash one in here. Drew Mahler 2 for 4 at the stripe so far this season. The Bishop Garrigan senior settles in, and the first one is good. 58-51 Golden Bears. 3-possession game with 13 seconds left, and 4 points tonight by Drew Mahler. Bishop Garrigan drops Furch and Thomas back. No easy runouts for Lake Mills. Free throw for Mahler, rattles into the cup. Give him 5 points. 59-51 Bishop Garrigan. Lake Mills will let the ball roll in, and Gall picks it up. 12 seconds. Gall across half court. Top of the arc. Pulls up for a 3-point try. It's an air ball, and Schwab picks it up. Final 6 seconds will take away. Schwab will bring it into the front court, and they'll foul him with 4 seconds left. Fouls committed by Cook, and that's all she wrote, folks. 4.8 seconds left. Carter Schwab will be shooting 2, and Bishop Garrigan will be sweeping Lake Mills this season. And Lake Mills is going to ask for a timeout here. 4.8 seconds left. Lake Mills takes the timeout with Bishop Garrigan leading by 8 and Schwab heading to the free throw stripe. Well, they're going to play this one out to the end, just as Bishop Garrigan played the previous matchup out to the end as well. And the Golden Bears will make the call to the bench. Mad Miller and Benedict Matthews will enter the ball game at this next stoppage, or at this current stoppage. Milo Giving into the ball game as well for the Golden Bears. And Schwab ready to shoot a couple of free throws. Well, resilience, that's a common theme among this Golden Bear team. We see that word a lot. We've seen teams really try to rally against Bishop Garrigan in the second half. We've seen some hard-fought games as of late. Last week against Belmont Clemmy, Golden Bears had to rally in the fourth quarter. And last week against Newman Catholic, Newman rallied in the fourth, but Bishop Garrigan had to hold on. Tonight, much like the Newman game, Garrigan got the big lead. Lake Mills fought back, but the Golden Bears, resilient, they hold on at the end. And a 4.8 left. These free throws will be a formality here as Schwab will shoot 2. 12 points tonight by Schwab. He's been an initiator for the Golden Bears, a physical presence driving downhill, and Lake Mills, as we mentioned, foul trouble has been a big story of tonight's game, and part of that is that physical play from the guard position by Schwab. First free throw is in and out, no good. 59-51 remains our score with 4.8 seconds left. Golden Bears are about to move to 5-1 in games where they trailed after the first quarter, because they did trail after 1 tonight. Schwab's second free throw is good. Give him 13 for this one. And Schwab will check out for the final time tonight with 4.8 remaining. And Lake Mills will be just about out of the conference race of a defeat tonight at the hands of the Golden Bears. Ball's inbounded to Cook, heaves from just inside of half court, and that one almost went down at the end of the game. Matthews there for the rebound, and that one will bring this ball game to an end. Cook can't knock down the three-point ball. Bishop Garrigan survives a big charge in the fourth by Lake Mills. Final score in this one, 60-51. What a job by the Golden Bears to sweep this Lake Mills team this season. They defeat Lake Mills by scores of 63-51 and 60-51 this year. And with that, we're pretty much down to a two-team race in the top of Iowa West between Bishop Garrigan and Forest City. Golden Bears have win number 6 in a row. They are 9-1 on the conference schedule. Lake Mills falls to 9-4, and their conference record now 7-4. And with 2 losses to Bishop Garrigan, they are just about out of it in the conference race. We will step aside and wrap it up with some final scoring numbers after this on Home Country Radio and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream.
For over 40 years, Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons have maintained one mission: to provide excellence in orthopedic care. Their team of 9 physicians offers specialized care in everything from arthroscopic same-day surgery to joint replacement, as well as hand and foot surgery, and have an orthopedic surgeon on call 24/7. Healthcare isn't about appointments, it's about taking care of people, and that's their specialty. Visit Northwest Iowa Bone, Joint, and Sports Surgeons on the web at nwiabone.com.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
AK's Chrome Kitchen. When you come in, your family.
Farmers State Bank is proud to be part of our community. Offices in Algona, Whittemore, and West Bend.
Stroman Dental, giving you something to smile about.
Bill's Auto and Truck Repair. Service is the difference.
Trend Salon, your complete family hair salon. It's all about you.
Oakcrest Funeral Services, celebrating a life lived.
All bringing you this game on Hometown and Home Country Radio.
Where you bank matters. Hi, I'm Sherry Bacon at Security State Bank, and we're relationship bankers. We get to know our customers and understand their financial needs. We're locally owned and operated, which means family, community, and service always comes first. So come to Security State Bank. We'll treat you like family. Security State Bank in Algona, Burt, and Laverne. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Security State Bank.
High school sports on Hometown and Home Country Radio, brought to you by these fine sports club members.
Central Financial Group, where you belong.
Down to Earth Tree Service, your local Algona tree service.
Styles Salon, your salon in Algona. Create yourself.
Farm and Home Services. View their listings at farmhomeservices.com.
Holmes Animal Clinic, animals large and small. They love them all.
Dance Connection and Tumbling by Michelle. Passionate about teaching, creative about dance. Visit their studio or danceconnectionbymichelle.com.
All bringing you this ball game.
Wrapping up our broadcast for tonight on Home Country Radio KLGZ and at the Algona Radio YouTube live stream as Bishop Garrigan throws a big-time punch in this top of Iowa West Conference race. Golden Bears defeat Lake Mills 60-51, and after losing 11 in a row to Lake Mills prior to this season, the Golden Bears have swept the Lake Mills Bulldogs this year. Looking at some final scoring numbers for this one, Lake Mills had the scoring advantage in the first quarter, 16-11. After that, Bishop Garrigan outscored Lake Mills 13-7 in the second quarter as the Golden Bears went up 24-23 at intermission. In the third, all Bishop Garrigan, Golden Bears had probably the best quarter of basketball we've seen from them so far this season. They outscored Lake Mills 26-11 in the third quarter. The barrage put Bishop Garrigan up by 16 points. In the fourth, Lake Mills fought back. They scored the first 11 points of the fourth, but Lake Mills would only outscore Bishop Garrigan 17-10 in that final period. Bishop Garrigan hangs on for a 60-51 victory in this one. The individual scoring for tonight's game, unofficial numbers. For Bishop Garrigan, Amari Thomas scored 18 points to lead the way. Carter Schwab had 13. It was Michael Joyce with 11. Tate Furch and Drew Mahler are 5 apiece, and Nick Lear and Trayton Sink with 4 apiece. For the Lake Mills Bulldogs, Jackson Gall had 16 points to lead the way. Lucas Helgland had 12. Keaton Wempen had 10. Kane Cook had 8. And Jeremiah Jensen had 5. A couple final big keys for tonight's game as Bishop Garrigan picks up the victory in this one. It is tough to go against the Bishop Garrigan team for 4 quarters of basketball because this Golden Bear team, they just put a physical beating on the opposition. And then when you finally match up against Bishop Garrigan physically, they're going to knock down 3-point shots from the outside and really balance things out. So I really thought Bishop Garrigan in the third quarter, they not only shot the ball well, but the physical presence inside really finally started to take hold in that third quarter. Lake Mills really had Bishop Garrigan's offense out of sync in the first half, but in the third, we saw a more usual balanced Bishop Garrigan attack, pounding the ball inside, getting Lake Mills in foul trouble, getting the bigs involved, and then balancing that out with the outside shooting and the creation of Carter Schwab and Michael Joyce. That third quarter, like we said, is about as exceptional of basketball as Bishop Garrigan has played so far this season. And then they withstood, I should say, that big run by Lake Mills in the fourth quarter. Lake Mills scored the first 11 points. Bishop Garrigan took a timeout. They got back on track after that and made most of their free throws down the stretch to win this one by 9. I do think it's safe to say Lake Mills, we talk a lot about injuries. No Aiden Stensrud this season due to the injury in football season, but Lake Mills also missed Nash Delger tonight. What a defensive presence he is for Lake Mills. Got injured a couple of games ago against West Hancock and was still out for this one, and that is one of your key players in the starting lineup. Lake Mills is third leading scorer on the season and probably their best defensive player, one of the best for Lake Mills. So not having Nash Delger tonight against the Golden Bear team that is right now tied for the top of Iowa West lead was a big loss in this one for Lake Mills that certainly couldn't be overlooked when it came down to it. And finally, I think Bishop Garrigan did an exceptional job tonight running Lake Mills off the three-point line. Like you mentioned, this Lake Mills team taking about 27 three-point attempts per game, and tonight they certainly took some three-pointers, but they all felt out of rhythm. They were late in the shot clock. They were highly contested. Not a lot of open looks from three-point land. A lot of forced threes by Lake Mills. And Bishop Garrigan just doing a great job of shutting off Kane Cook especially, but all the three-point shooters of Lake Mills after a couple of early makes. So the defensive game plan worked. Bishop Garrigan forced Lake Mills to take the ball inside, and inside is where Bishop Garrigan had the size advantage as they held Lake Mills to 13 points under their season scoring average. Up next for Bishop Garrigan, they're going to be at Eagle Grove on Friday night as the Golden Bears will continue top of Iowa West play against an improved Eagle Grove team. Meanwhile, for Lake Mills, they will travel to Osage on Friday night and try to get back on track against a top of Iowa East opponent. That'll be it for tonight's broadcast. Big thank you to Bernie Mayer running our camera tonight and our scoreboard as well. And big thank you to all our sports club members and video streaming sponsors making this broadcast possible as well. This has been a sports production of Home Country Radio KLGZ and at the Algona Radio YouTube stream. Your final score tonight, Bishop Garrigan 60, Lake Mills 51.